What's up? What's up? I told you Mickey would forget.
Yeah, unmute.
Hey,
I'm so used to this, right? I know exactly what's going to happen. What's up, guys? That's awesome. How you guys doing?
good.
Pretty good.
Good. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's new? Happy to see you guys. I know that the majority of you will trickle in later. Of course, those of you who are not here are not listening to me right now, but you will trickle in later because, of course, you want to see the second best show talking about the CAF CON on another channel. And then you get the good stuff when you come by and drop in here and you get the reality, you know? So, yeah, good to see those of you who are here at the moment. Appreciate you guys. We are going to get into it pretty quick. You guys are talking up a storm already, which is insane to me, especially given how few of you there are so far at the beginning. That's pretty crazy. Peter, Tom, Derek Neiman. What's good? Jason Ladwig, hello to you. Mike Asbill, Rick Welch. And I'm going to go quickly, guys. So if I skip you, it's just because I went too quickly and I didn't notice, and I apologize in advance. Mr. Red Jack Brian, what's good? Hope you made some sales for your brother. I actually checked and I did see some sales. Hope you're happy with them. It looked pretty good to me. Who else? CJ, what's happening, CJ? We got, again, Rick. Let's see who else. Vivian, of course. Hi, Vivian. And we got, of course, Kavi's with us. Welcome to my official co-host,
Also
Nicky,
in the chat, but yes,
in the house.
I am with us.
Yes, sir.
Tonight.
John Brown, as always. What's up, John Brown? And who else? Who else do we have? Marcus. Marcus is here. Bye. Let's see. Who else? Peter, CJ. Already said hello to you guys. Yeah, so it's the same guys talking over and over and over. And here's the fake Bill Cox, Mr. Cesar Alvarez himself. And what's good, Caesar? Murdoch is here. What's up, Murdoch? And hello to the trio from CJ, of course. Appreciate you, CJ. And who else? Anybody else we haven't mentioned yet? Steve at B&G. What's good, Steve? Good to see you.
Steve.
And who else? Let's see. Too hot already, CJ. Lee Harmon. What's happening? Nicky and Kavi, three of the best collectors and nice guys in our hobby. I'll take that. Appreciate that. Thank you, Lee. Good to see you. And of course, you were ahead of me. And Marcus, did all the OAX pimping all week long hamper overall sales? I don't know, but I know, Marcus, all I know is that I've seen you this whole, I don't know, not the whole week, but the whole last few days, constantly harping on how much OAX pimping is going on, which, frankly, I don't really get, only because if you're really honest about it, it feels to me like they're pimping OAX 12 months out of the year. So it feels like it's like a regular thing all year long, not just in the last week or whatever that you might be talking about, Marcus. But I don't know. I guess you'll find out when you watch I'm sure you've got the other show on open. I don't know when it starts, but I'm sure you'll be getting the deets from Bill. So let's see. Let's go Mets. Expos #1. And let me see. He is indeed relentless, CJ. That is it for sure. Distracted from the show in front of them. Hey, man.
It's a fair point. Like it's a fair point.
Yeah. Corey, what's good? Corey, hola. What's good? Caesar is letting us know there is a lot of OAX talk. Like, where do you mean though? Not. And he follows it up with nonstop. Where do you mean? If you mean on the CAF channel, then I mean, isn't that the way it's always been since the first OAX? I mean, I I don't know, but you guys are there. You guys are there all the time. You would know, but I would assume that that's what you're talking.
I think maybe what they mean is that maybe more of the focus has been on like opportunities to pre-buy or pre-commission artists,
the commissions and all that stuff.
or
Yeah,
at that show versus during this online show.
Oh,
Maybe I don't know. I haven't had a chance to see everything in the show over the weekend. I only had about 90 minutes to search for art on Saturday and about 90 minutes to search for art today, and that was all I've had. That was all I was able to sort of experience. So if there was other news or things announced or panels or exciting developments, like I missed a lot of that, so I'm gonna have to go back and sort of catch up on that information myself.
Marcus makes a good point. He's saying, it's all that pre-OX, what you mentioned, Kavi, it's all that pre-OX, OAX commissions taking up money to buy artwork, I mean, it's one of those things though, right? They're as a company, they're trying to make, revenue from different streams. And so I guess it's no different from like, you say, oh, whatever your favorite auction house is, let's say it's Heritage. Okay. Like I like Heritage. Sure. But then you can say the same thing. Oh, but then, they've got six auctions a year plus the weekly ones. And then you got the competition, Comic Link, Comic Connect, Hakes, there's always something. So yeah. And in fact, I was thinking about next week because I don't have a plan for next week. I was thinking of doing an episode where we, I want to talk about this. I think it's usually a pretty good topic that it's always worth discussing. It seems so everybody always has an opinion, but related to how the market, for me, it's based on my selling experiences over the last decade or so, how the market has shifted towards the vast majority of collectors highly prioritizing the auction houses as their main source for buying, and then it's everywhere else. Anyways, so that's kind of want to make some points about that. I think that's true.
The one
And
thing I wanna- yeah, the
is
one thing I
Thanksgiving
wanna
next
say-
weekend, or is that the weekend after in America? I have to look that up.
Sorry,
I forgot which weekend was Thanksgiving next weekend.
I think it's 2 weekends from now.
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the weekend after. Yeah, Thanksgiving's the weekend after next. But the thing I was going to say was that, I mean, Bill is or comic art fans is not making money off CAF Live.
Right.
All these sales are happening.
Yeah.
They're not
Right.
making anything off of that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the way
Yeah.
they have to get revenue from a show like this is by selling stuff, either selling the premium memberships or getting opportunities for OAX.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, a good point, Mickey.
Well, don't they monetize this show twice a year through the whole mystery sketch thing?
Well, in that sense, but like Mickey was saying, they don't take a cut from everybody's sales, right? Which they could do if they wanted to put money in it. I don't think it's possible with the current structure of how the website is built, but right, that's probably the problem. It's the only thing I would think keeping them from doing it. Yeah, it's the reason that they haven't they only focused on the app rather than rebuilding the site from scratch, because that's what they would have to do, they said, right? But yeah, I think yeah, you do the sketch commissions and all that stuff, and okay, sure, they'll make some money from that, but that's nothing compared to what they could make, right? If they were taking even a tiny percentage of the CAF CON sales that everybody makes, So yeah, so yeah, I kind of understand it. It's the OAX thing they want to build out and make money from. So totally get that. Marcus says they shot themselves in the foot with the sketch cards option. More people are choosing the cards. Interesting. But I heard that didn't they sell a record number of regular sketch options, mystery sketch options? I maybe I'm mistaken. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Cal and OAX need to be 6 months apart from each other. That's impossible though, because Cal is twice a year, so you'd have to be maybe 3 months apart from each other, that kind of thing. Let me see. I need to fly down for OAX. We may meet at some point, but like I said, until that danger of me being sent off to El Salvadorian and El Salvadoran gulag it goes away, I will not be entering the United States, Tom. Oh, sorry, a mystery sketch is affordable, though that's a good thing, and I guess that's why they sell well. Oh yeah, my feet hurt so much. What's up, Kazra? What's up, Dwayne Zapane, with your weird Damperobi name? I want Dwayne Zapane back, man. Damperobi. What is that? Like sketch. See, there's Murdoch. I like the sketch card option. But Murdoch, he's talking about from a financial perspective, right? That's it. He's just thinking of, if you're thinking it from their point of view, you know, he's thinking of it, hey, you might hurt yourself by offering this cheaper option kind of thing, you know? But anyways, we'll get into all this stuff, but first I want to get my promos out of the way. Record number is cards and sketches together. I see. I got you. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Oh, I see, Murdoch. You're saying, right, cancel one of the cows. Yeah, they could do that if they wanted to. That's an option.
I don't see why, when, you know, there's a whole subset of online only buyers.
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly. You got to remember that, Murdoch. That's a great point by Kavi, because if you think about it, actually,
like they don't even go to local shows. They'll
yeah. The vast percentage of collectors who are active in the hobby, they're not convention travelers. They're online only people, you know? So looking at it that way, yeah, again, but it's still an option if they wanted to. You know what's funny? I was thinking earlier today that I would, if I were them, I would consider, and I know that I know when I first say it, you're going to think, well, that seems sort of counterintuitive. I don't think so, though. I'm thinking, rather than, you know, you don't have to follow any set of rules. It's an online convention, right? But just because you're basically doing the online version of a real physical convention doesn't mean you have to follow the rules. So I would say something to think about, that they should think about, is maybe keep it twice a year. But, and I've said this before, I find it's way too overwhelming, way too much in one short period of time. But I don't think you could fix that. But I would say, what about if you just kept it to Saturday only? I tend to not really tune in on Sunday. I don't know about the rest of you. I don't think I need 2 days personally, but I guess you'd need to take sort of a poll to see, you know,
well, I mean,
roughly the percentage of people who spend the weekend.
As a built-in premium member who does not plan on canceling my premium membership just because I like using the site.
Yeah.
That first 90 minutes on Saturday morning and that first 90 minutes on Sunday morning, where, you know, the premium members have the first chance to do the searching. That's, for me, that's the part of the experience that I tune in for no matter what. And it's everything else around it where I may or may not have time to check as much stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's literally like, is it a 90-minute exclusive window on Saturday and Sunday, or is it 2 hours? Whatever, like that 90-minute, 2-hour period. That's when I'm like glued to the screen trying to search stuff, looking at keyword things, just kind of browsing around what people have, stuff like it's fun. You know, that part's fun.
Yeah, I would say that for the CAF Live is good because I made 2 sales to the national seller buyer, and you're not going to get that opportunity on a convention.
Right.
That person is probably not going to fly in for OAX.
Right.
You have the opportunity to buy something online at CAF Live.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Kazra says more art by total dollar amount was sold on Sunday so far than on Saturday. So that's interesting, right? That's an interesting.
It could be because people waited till Sunday to make.
Absolutely, that's what it is. Oh, I believe it's exactly. Yeah, I believe that's exactly the main reason. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's an interesting piece of data, but it doesn't, you know, it's that by itself is not enough reason to say, oh, we'll never go to, you know, we'll never.
Of pieces drop Saturday versus Sunday within that would be, I think, the more interesting data, I guess. But
yeah. Wow, holy crap. How many months has it been? Neon Dragon, everybody in the house. John Byron. What's up, John?
What's up?
Wow, popping in just to say hello. Well, that's good. You got to come on to a show at some point. It's been like a year since your last appearance. Good to see you, man. And thanks for dropping by. Just look and have fun. Yeah. Hey, Lee. Hey, CJ. Paddle's exhausting, but learned a lot. Well, then that's the good thing, Peter. I like to drop knowledge. You know, that's part of the Comic Art 101 thing that I do.
Okay, so 90 minutes of sort of some pre-access.
Casper says that, of course, that people knowing there's a Sunday means they can delay. Yeah, it buys them time. Exactly. You know, I think, Casper, the reason I've been thinking just earlier today about the, Saturday only, possibility, just to kind of consider it, is more from, I guess, the seller standpoint of, well, to make it worth it for us, we a lot of the sellers, that the sell-through percentage isn't very good. And I guess the idea was, if people know it's a one-day thing, they've got to get their answers in, their decisions made quicker. Like, people will be more focused, and they know they've got to make decisions quick. It doesn't, the lack of the Sunday would give them, it wouldn't give them that time to sort of hem and haw longer and possibly say, forget it, I don't need it. You know what I mean? Therefore, less sales. That's just something I was thinking about, But again, it's something you'd have to try if you wanted to, in order to really to truly know if it would work or not, obviously, right? That's just something that I thought it's worth considering and talking about, because you wait for price reduction, right? You do miss it. I know you do, because you love to talk like me. That's right. Hello to all of you. I didn't get as many price reduction offers as I did in the past. I got one, but I said no. If it doesn't sell this weekend, it's like it says in my description right at the top. This is my website price, and this is the price for the weekend. And if it doesn't sell, it just stays on the website. So it's higher, not lower. But I guess obviously everybody's different. It depends if how badly you are wanting to sort of cash out of your art, right? Then then if you're willing to go lower, then fine. Obviously, it's good. Sent a bunch. I'm surprised in the top 15 of sold items. You're in the top 15 of sold items with your purchase? I'm not sure I understand that. Top 15 of sold items.
I think he means that of the pieces that sold, he's the Bruce Timm piece that he bought, because he mentions Tim later, that it's in the top 15 highest sales.
Oh, right.
That's sold.
Yeah, it's funny
that he's usually in like the back of the list as far.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's funny that you mentioned that, Marcus, because that's why I think sales are down. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I didn't check in the last few hours, but all day yesterday and I think earlier today, I also was like, one of my sales was a 2250, and it appeared to be really close to the top, So I was like, wow, that's not good, Like it means that there's not a lot of buying of, certainly at least not a lot of buying of more expensive pieces, So interesting though, but I'm sure it has picked up since I last checked, anyways, But I'll check it out later. We'll share the screen. I'll check it out. We'll see where we are. Let's see. Prices were crazy, says Sam Maroney. What's up, Sam? I don't know. Everybody says that every year, and while it's true that there's always the same suspects that always overprice their art, so there's always going to be overpriced art. I don't know that I would say I felt, across the board, everything felt expensive. I didn't get that feeling myself, because there's an awful lot of like affordable, like below $1,000 artwork.
Sure. Yeah.
That's made people make available, including Mickey's gallery, and we'll take a look at that after. So there's a lot of stuff, and I think from previous years, Michael, I have noticed that the vast majority, and this is not a surprise to me, but the vast majority of stuff that sells, like there's a lot more pages when you look at the sold stuff. There's a ton of stuff that takes up the 1,000 and below, right? Compared to the stuff that's 1,000 and 1,000 or above 1,000. You know, but that's normal, right? Because with a huge hobby, yeah, the average person does tend to fall into that. You know, the average price per piece they tend to spend on is going to be 3 figures, not 4. You know, so. Don't always have time to hesitate if you really want the piece or might be go. That's true, but you know, the fact is people know that if it really hasn't gone by the end, you know, close to the end of Saturday, they kind of feel it gives them more ability to think, yeah, you know, I know I'm taking that risk, but I'm willing to take that risk because it, you know, if it would have sold, it would have sold now. So I can afford to wait till tomorrow, even if it's just to the beginning of tomorrow, you know, the earlier part of the day, you know. So it doesn't stop people, I don't think, from waiting the extra day, you know. Time payments. I see a lot of price. See, there's the counterpoint. I see a lot of pieces priced very well. There you go. That's my point, you know.
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to look at is a couple of pieces that I thought are still available that I thought were priced quite right. I almost bought them myself, but I was trying to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And not go outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well said. Kazura is saying that we make it worth it by making it easier, which we'll continue to do with the mobile app and a checkout. Oh, and at checkout, I guess you mean? That way you can run it entirely from your phone anywhere. But
meaning a checkout flow through their app or site directly.
Right. Yeah. Right. Thanks. Yeah. The early days of CAF Live was better because people were dedicated to offer good art at fair prices. That is no longer true. I mean, listen, you're not the only one with that opinion. But again, there's also those people, like we just said, that have the opposite opinion and think like, you know, I mean, Lee just mentioned here, the stuff he was watching was very well priced, right? So I guess it depends, right? So
I mean, it also depends on what you're after, you know, like what's your...
Yeah, no, exactly. You
know, it's too specific to the collector.
Marcus, what can I say? It does hurt to lose it, but you know, I've been saying for the last few years, I am wanting to psychologically put myself in that mode where I want to stop and sell off stuff. So,
Did you still have promos you wanted to do? Because there's going to be quite a ton of comments here to catch up on.
Oh, it's still. Oh God, we're still okay. Yeah. So thank you. So
the show discussion essentially started already, and
yeah, no, I know we kind of did. We kind of went right into it. So yeah, let me do the promos, everybody, real quick here. Oh, and first, let me also say before I forget. So on October 28th. My a friend and former artist I used to work with for 18 years, Andrew Hennessy, the inker, passed away unexpectedly. For those of you wondering why I waited 18 days to talk about it, it's simply because his sister-in-law was the one running point, who informed his friends and peers in the business. And she had asked everybody she contacted to please keep it quiet until the family tells you that you can talk about it. And then a few days ago, she said it's okay to go ahead and mention it. And so I figured rather than do some crappy social media post, which doesn't get any reach for me at least, I figured I'd just tell you guys personally here. Especially it seems fitting as well because of the fact that I did do 4 or 5 comic art show and sell episodes focused only on Drew's artwork on my channel here. So just want to let you guys know, he was 50. So I don't know if 56 or how he turned. I don't think he had turned 57 yet. So just a little bit less than 2 years older than myself. Drew was a really, really good guy. With me, and you'll hear Actually, in fact, I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I have something I can pop in the. I got something I can pop in the chat, but I'm not sure if it'll work. Simply, okay, yeah, no, I got it. I got an easy to do one here. It's a link that if you want to read a little bit about it, it's all of Drew's peers and friends in the business. They all sort of wrote something, and my other friend Mike Perkins, who was very close to Drew, he collated everything that everybody wrote, and then a website, downthetubes.com, I believe it's called. They were nice enough to post it, and so you'll see a bunch of examples of his art, plus all the reminiscences from his friends and fellow comic creators. So let me put that in here right away. There you go. That's there. And yeah, you'll see one of the common themes running through that. If you read that, everybody's reminiscences is Drew was a guy who had a very acerbic wit about him. But the thing that I want to make most pointed here is that he was very, very all about the work. He was more than anybody I know. His work ethic was beyond amazing. Almost, I would say, to his detriment. Early on in the first few years that I started handling his art sales, him and Mike Perkins. I remember Mike telling me, Drew, he's constantly working. Sometimes, back in the day, they used to share a studio together with Butch Geis and Laura Martin. And Mike said, sometimes he's working so late at the studio, he'll sleep there so he can then wake up and already be at his drawing table, to hit the next page. And I thought, wow, that's dedicated, but that's crazy. But then, Drew told me one day, when I was having trouble getting him to respond to an email, and I kind of needed a reply quick because I had a potential customer waiting for a reply. And so I kind of had to send him a second email, said, look, I don't want to bother you. I'm sure you're probably busy, whatever, but I really kind of need you to reply to this. And he replied and he said, yeah, sorry, it's just super busy, whatever. And I said, no problem. That's fine. And I told him, dude, listen, you're going to do what you're going to do. I get it. But you got to take care of yourself at the same time. I was just like, you don't, because you know what it made me think of? He when I learned about how crazy hardworking he was, it made me think of Gene Day, the late Gene Day, and the stories I had read about Gene Day back in the day. And yes, I know some of you don't bother saying it in the chat. I know he was a smoker. I get that. It's okay. But he worked himself to death. Okay. And Drew was not a smoker, but when you constantly work yourself the way he did, you can put yourself into bad, you can make yourself ill. And I remember, this is the irony about Drew. This is what makes me, that when I heard the news of this, it was so shocking. I was so much in shock. And the ironic thing is that I couldn't help but think that one time when he told me how hard he was working, and he told me, I want to let editors know that I'm reliable, because that's the number one thing in this business is reliability. They want people who can get the job and meet the deadline. That's the first thing they want, And because of that, he told me I don't turn down work. So he's the kind of guy, he would never turn down a job, even if he already had a monthly gig to do. Plus, he would always have other editors saying, hey, I got 5-6 pages. I need finished 2 days from now. Can you do it? He would say yes to everything, And the irony is that I remember telling him when he told me that, I remember saying, look, but dude, I totally get it. And that's an amazing work ethic. But at the same time, it's really serious that you really can. When you work yourself that hard, you're going to make yourself ill at some point, right? And I told him about Gene Day, and it's you don't want that to happen. And he's like, no, don't worry. It's going to be fine. Whatever. Anyways, suffice it to say, ultimately, you know, I know in that article that I posted to, it wasn't mentioned. And personally, I wasn't told I couldn't say details. And I always find when people that we know, right, it's like celebrities or quasi-celebrities, when it's announced online that they passed away, I know most of us really hate when nobody mentions how they passed, especially if it was unexpected and they're, you know, young. And I'm one of those people. I you know, if you care about the person, you know that they have a lot of people that care about these people that pass away. I think we deserve to just let us know how they pass. So anyway, so I'm just going to mention, it was cardiac arrest. This is I'm using the term that his sister-in-law told me. So it was cardiac arrest. But what makes me really, really sad is that apparently he was found in his car in the parking lot of a hospital, which tells me, I have to assume, this wasn't told to me, but I have to assume that means he must have been feeling something that really wasn't right, and he thought, oh shit, I better go get myself checked out, got into his car, made his way to the hospital, and somewhere in the parking lot must have suffered a heart attack. Yeah, which is really, again, not only ironic, but that just makes it all the sadder that he was that close, right, to getting help. That close. Yeah. So yeah, it's very, very sad, and yeah, I'm still kind of in shock about it. And it's been hard to kind of keep it quiet and try to pretend like nothing happened over the last 18 days. But anyways, like I said, I wanted you guys to know in case you hadn't heard the news on social media and stuff. And yeah, good guy. I'm gonna miss him. And yeah, that's it. So that's it. Sorry.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah. So next thing, let me do my promos, everybody, and yeah, we'll get that out of the way so we can get right back into our chat.
I highlighted some of the condolence messages
Yeah,
I saw.
I saw. Thank you. I appreciate
them. But yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So Stingray put up a video, a really good one. This would fall under my Comic Art 101 series if it was, you know, if he was doing it with me on my channel, educational. It's how I frame comic art. Not me, but how he frames it, of course. And so let me pop that link for those of you who may not have seen it. It's about a half hour, I believe it was, from what I recall. Well worth it. Good to get ideas for those of you who have questions and wonder about how you might want to go about framing some comic art. And he shows you how he does it. So very interesting and fun to watch. And next, we have Carl Sodergren, who did a video. Again, it's Jovember, as he calls it, and it's the G.I. Joe Energon Universe reading order, and some new Tom Riley original art. So please check out that one at this direct link that I just put in there. Okay. And then we have, I believe it is Nicky V, the man himself. And I gotta show you. Of course, you guys know Nick has his show, the EXP, the Original Art Experience, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. And as I did last week, and from time to time, I'm not only going to give you the link. I got the link, and so that's for this Friday, this coming Friday show. And let me just quickly show you as well. I do have preview of some pieces that he will be showing. Miki might be able to answer my question about this first one, because the first page he's got is called Eradicator. It's from Eradicator #1, page 3. It's by Roger Robinson and John Lowe. And I gotta say, this is from the 90s. I don't recall there being a one-shot or a mini-series of the Eradicator? You don't either? Okay.
No.
It makes me wonder. It must be the Eradicator from the Reign of the Superman storyline, I assume. Maybe not. Maybe there was something else called Eradicator. I don't know. I'm sure somebody in the chat will
I'm
will
sure
tell us.
Marcus will look it up and tell us.
Yeah, somebody's going to tell us for sure. That's not going to happen, Peter. Targeting Rubén. Ah, there's Carl. He was a part of the outs. Oh, but was it the Eradicator with the Superman or Eradicator guy, or it's just some other guy? And it was called Eradicator and the Outsiders. Yeah, tell me if it's the same Eradicator, or if it's just the same name. That's what I'm curious about. But yeah, Roger Robinson, everybody, check that one out. Nicky B will have that. And the next piece is this great, for you 80s fans, Blue Beetle, a Blue Beetle page, a great Blue Beetle page, great 80s DC art, fantastic images throughout the page. So him with the villain, and you get a great splashy shot in the fourth panel, I guess it is. So yeah, a fantastic page. So check that out if you get a chance this Friday. And last but certainly not least, he will have available the cover to Red Sonja #1 by Nicola Scott, who I know that Mickey knows. Mickey, you have some Nicola art, right?
I do not, actually.
You do not? Did
No.
you ever have?
No.
Interesting. Who am I thinking of? I thought you had. In fact, I thought you had a Red Sonja or Supergirl. No? Interesting. Okay. I take that back.
Some other guy named Mickey.
Because there are so many, right?
So many, there's a lot of different spellings of that.
That's true. That's true. Although in this hobby, even if you take all the spellings together, I can't say I know anybody other than this Mickey.
I think I know at least one other.
Yeah?
Not two.
I don't. Okay. All right.
Not
so
MIKI Mickeys, though.
Yeah, no, that will definitely be a lot more rare. So let me see. So we got those three guys out of the way. Okay, I think that was it. And there may have been a second video. If there was for you, Carl, I apologize. I have not had the time this week to go back and check. Okay, everybody. So what I want to do is we're going to talk about this. I'd like to get not only Miki and Kavi's feedback on how the show went for them, both as from the shopping perspective as potential buyers and as sellers if they partook as sellers, and then of course I want you guys to sort of give your and I'm sure you will be giving us your feedback at the same time. You guys know that I always like to get in terms of CAF CON, my favorite sort of statistics in terms of selling and opening a booth is just knowing, how many pieces did you try to sell and how many did you sell? And then we just kind of figure out the approximate percentage of the sell-through, right? The sell-through percentage, just to give us an idea, and we can all compare with each other and see what the average ends up being. So I'll be asking you guys later about that as well.
Before we go, could you share that link I sent you on the museum?
Oh yeah. No, we're gonna do that. I wanted to quickly check because I wanted to do that before we even did your gallery. Yeah. And I just want to see Carl's answer. So it's kind of the same Eradicator. He changed a bit after he turned himself. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, Carl. Okay. So there's one more promo I don't have because I have it in a separate area. So that's why I didn't go right into it after the last promo for Nick. But yeah, let me go get that. And Mickey's got something he wants to talk to all of you about. But let me grab that link. He's going to show you a link for it. And let me see here. Okay, there we go. All right. And why don't we do, which is the one, is it there? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let me pop this link in, and Mickey, why don't you while I pop this in, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you want to tell us all about this show, this
Yes.
museum show that you got going.
Yeah, it's an exhibit at the Muskegon Museum of Art in Muskegon, Michigan. They had contacted me several months ago, and they had asked for me to loan them some art, and I've sent the art their way, and that link is a promo for the exhibit that opens on February 5th and runs through May of next year. And I'm not sure exactly beyond what's mentioned on that link what the show is about, but I can only surmise based on the art that I sent them that it's going to be a lot of Supergirl.
Okay.
They're probably going to tie into the movie that's coming out next summer.
Right.
And there's a lot of narrative art. They didn't ask for a lot of covers or pinups or splashes. They wanted the
storytelling
pages. They wanted consecutive pages. So I think they want to focus more on the narrative art. Scott Rosema, who is affiliated with the museum, is the one who contacted me, and he's an artist, and he's helping them set up the exhibition.
Okay.
That's all I know right now.
Oh, I see. Okay. But do you know, is it, because you said you weren't sure exactly what would be in it, can you at least say, is it strictly a comic book art narrative, comic book art type exhibit? So it's all comic book artwork?
No, it's going to be comic book artwork. It's going to be comics. There's also going to be some props from the movies.
Oh, I see. Okay. More well-rounded. Okay.
Yes.
I got it. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Sounds good. I appreciate that. You bringing that news. You never know, especially for those of you already in Michigan. Jason. Yeah, that could be good. Are you going to...
It's probably not too long a drive from Ontario.
I'm not in Ontario.
Yeah, I know. It's longer from Montreal.
From Montreal, it's a lot longer. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And then it's probably like at least a 12-hour drive, flat out pedal to the metal. If I'm escaping if I'm trying to escape the ice guys that are chasing after me, you know. So 12 hours. I don't know if I can make it, you know. But no, it sounds cool. Sounds fun. Kind of interesting though. Of all places in the United States that somebody could do this, Muskegon, Michigan, you know? So very interesting. Okay, sounds good. And let us put you back here.
So if people want to get involved, can they do that through you, Mickey, or you're just trying to spread awareness about it?
I'm just spreading awareness of the exhibit. I think they've already got everything they need for the exhibit. And it's just a matter of them putting it together and putting out some more promos. I think that I did share a link with Bill Cox, and I'm trying to get Bill to do a interview with the director of the museum to talk about it once they get closer to the opening.
Marcus, if I just wear Ohio State gear, they'll chase me out of the state very quickly. I'll definitely be on my way to El Salvador. You don't do that in Michigan, you know. Plus, I root for Michigan, so I would never in a million years put on Ohio State gear. Sorry, Sam Maroney, and the rest of you. I know there's a ton of you from guys from Ohio.
I see there's a question: how many pieces? They say they have over 100 pieces of art on exhibit.
Okay, cool. Okay. And Jason says, I called him out. He says, I'm not far. I'll try to make it up there. Yeah, so that's cool. All right. Hey, John. What's good, buddy?
Hey, John.
Yeah, look at that. Neon Dragons. Like, wow. That is a lot. That is. I see you, Sam. I knew Sam was listening. Them's fighting words. Sam went to Ohio State, man. He's an alum. But we're good. We're good. I'll fight to the death with the hardcore like sports guys online that we don't really know each other, you know. But you know, we those of us here in this hobby, we have this in common. So when it comes to that rivalry in sports, we take it a lot more in a much more friendly way. So it's all good, brother. It's all good. Strange. Okay. Are you a new person? Because I don't recognize the avatar. Stranger Rue. Greetings and salutations to you as well, whoever you may be, especially if it's your first time. My brother wore OSU to the football game up there a few years ago. Did he? Hey John. Hey. And yes, please. Thank you, CJ. I always forget that. Please, yes. There's literally only one short of half of you who have bothered to hit the thumbs up, which is right below where I'm pointing. Thumbs up icon. Please just hit that. Doesn't give me any money. It just gives me encouragement. I would appreciate it. Okay, so we got all the promos out of the way. We ready to get back into chatting about this weekend's CAF CON? I think we are. All right. Let me see here. I don't think that would be Stefan Rue. Anything's possible, but I don't think so. You never know. So yeah, we're going to start off with, actually, before we even go to Mickey, only because Kavi, you on the sell side only went with a couple of pieces. Why don't we start with you?
I didn't end up selling any. I didn't end up selling anything. I didn't really try that hard either. It's like,
yeah,
I had about 20 minutes. I literally had like 20 minutes to try and come up with something to get my participation trophy that I had a booth. I almost didn't put anything up, but yeah. So I'm not really like bummed that what I offered didn't sell or any of that. Like I did get like, I think 10 saves on one of the pieces that I put up. It was a Steve Rude commission piece. So I sent a note to the people that saved the piece, lowering my price to my rock bottom price today. But no one bid on that. At least I haven't checked since the show started, but I'm assuming the show ended and no one bid on that offer. So I didn't end up selling anything, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
But the funniest / most entertaining part of the whole show for me was I got an inquiry from an overseas buyer about a piece that wasn't in my booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a Jim Silky Naomi Campbell piece, and I'm not sure if this is the piece that like there was a debate between Marcus and other people in one of like Anthony Snyder's shows, that if it was Tyra Banks or Naomi Campbell. I'm not sure if this is the same exact piece. But being reached out to about that piece as if I was going to be selling the piece when I wasn't offering the piece, I just found that hilarious. And I don't know what seller was selling it, but I just thought that was pretty funny, pretty hilarious.
But that was just through the regular CAF gallery then, right?
No, he used the CAF Live system.
Oh,
and he must have had my page up and like the other guy's page up. Maybe he was looking at the Steve Rude piece separately, or like, I don't know, ultimately I can't explain why he reached out to me about that piece, but it was pretty funny. I think it was in Stanley J's booth. Stanley, I don't know. I don't think that's Stanley in the chat. I think that
is Stanley, I think.
Oh, it is Stanley.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Yeah. So I don't know why they didn't just reach out to Stanley, but hopefully they did reach out to Stanley and sold it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. So, and officially, everybody, just so you all know, it is what Newell says, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern. So it's an hour and roughly.
When I go to my inbox, there could still be messages in there. Theoretically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So, an hour and
Stanley, if you want to sell it, I can forward you that email. Like if the guy never reached out to you, let me know, I guess, and I'll forward it to you. But yeah.
What's up, Mark?
But I don't think I have Stanley's email either, so I'm not sure how to forward it to him. But whatever, you can hit me up on CAF if you need to. But yeah.
Okay.
So that was funny, but yeah, that's about it. And I did 90 minutes of searching each day. Didn't find anything really for my personal collection. Found possibly a couple gifts and squirrels. But that's it. And I haven't technically spent any money yet. So that's it for me. So pretty quiet show for me. And I kind of just wanted to hop on hang out and hear what, how it
Yeah.
went for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I just noticed who I just showed it. Yeah, Noel. So just to tell all of you, so Kavi already took his turn. We're gonna get to Miki now. He's gonna tell us how his weekend went, and then after him, I'll take my turn. Then I will want to hear how it went for you guys in terms of buying, selling. So don't bother posting it now, because I want to talk to you about it. And I don't want to keep having to interrupt, myself or Miki, So just save it until us two are done, and then and then we'll get to the rest of you guys in the chat. All right. So I'm gonna do some screen sharing, everybody. Since Miki was kind enough to decide to be my ride shotgun with me and co-host, I figured might as well do some screen saving here, and we'll show you guys his booth. All right, so why don't we do that now? Give me a couple of moments here. Share screen. Mickey's Bargain Basement. Here we go. And there we go. Okay, let me get rid of the background here. It's easier to see it like this. And I wonder if there's a view that would make it a bit bigger. Yeah, but then it blocks us, right? This one.
That's probably the best.
Yeah, that's probably the only. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pop into the other. I won't be able to see what you guys are doing or saying, but if you could just handle some comments for now for me on my behalf, if you don't mind, Kavi.
Yeah, sure.
While I'm in the other tab scrolling through the actual gallery on Mickey's behalf. Okay, here we go. So look at that, Mickey's Bargain Basement. Look what he says, everybody. I am offering some affordable pages for my collection. Most pieces less than 1,000, and there are many pieces priced 100 or less. Although, of course, Mickey, I did notice that you sold some pieces, so those cheaper ones may be gone. But yeah, look at that. 10% off everything from Saturday, and 10% off combined purchase with a purchase from Saturday's art. So yeah, well, go ahead and I'll scroll, or do you want me to go to anything particular, or you want me to just scroll through slowly?
No, I just people can see what a glimpse of the gallery. But I had 38 pieces up, 24 on Saturday, 14 on Sunday. Okay. I sold a total of 7 pieces, and I think you did the percentage on that.
Yeah, that's an 18.4% sell-through percentage, which, as I've always mentioned in the past, based on art drops on websites, 15 to 18%. It's good. It's not great, but it's also not bad. So that's good. That's pretty solid. So yeah, congrats.
Yeah, most of the sales came yesterday. We just had 2 sales today.
Okay.
And I think I reached out to a couple of people who had saved art and gave them, some even more discounts, but I didn't hear back from them. So that's all I did.
Okay.
Most of the pieces I didn't mind selling, and I think I priced them to sell. Yeah. There's 1 or 2 pieces that I decided that towards the end that I really didn't want to sell it, so I priced it a little bit higher. And yeah, I think the last one on Sunday, which was the Star Masters piece, that was the piece I really didn't want to sell. I decided to sell it before the show started, and then when I started to put it up, I fell more in love with it, and so I priced it a little bit higher than I was going to price it.
Such a collector, right, Nicky?
So yeah, that one, since it didn't sell, or even I don't think it's going to sell, it's going to go into my permanent gallery.
Okay.
After the show.
Nicky's still discovering art he had from like 2 decades ago.
Exactly.
Well, the issue with that is that during the 90s, I didn't read a lot of comics, and but when I started to buy art, a lot of art from the 90s was available. So I was buying art mainly based on the character, or based on the look of the art, or based on the artist. And that's one of the pages I got. When I went back and looked at the comic and read it, I went, I think I want to keep this piece. So that's what
Yeah,
happened.
I mean, it happens, right? It happens. It's the same thing with me, Mickey, right? Like there are often times where like, oh yeah, okay, I guess I have some stuff I should let go of. I'm gonna do like an art drop, but I feel like, nobody's gonna care with only X amount of pieces. Like I often feel like I don't have enough to make it interesting, right? So then I'm feeling like, oh, I gotta go out of my inventory into my collection, right, and see stuff there, and that stuff is harder to let go of, right? But it's like I got to kind of pad the sale to make it more interesting, and yeah, you end up putting stuff in that you don't really want to, but you figure, okay, I can live without it, it's fine. But every now and then, like it's exactly like you just said, as soon as it gets close to the time, we're like, okay, I got to go live, or I just posted it. I'm like, oh shit, I don't really want to sell that one, or you know what I mean? And then you're like,
Lee Parmenter is digging your Racer X piece, so feel free to shoot him an offer, Lee.
Yes.
You're digging it? Check
it
out.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. But I know exactly. So you know what I'm saying, Mickey? Like I'm with you, man. Like I think we've all been there. You look at it and it's kind of like what you said, where you feel like I fell in love with it, like, and this is a piece that you've already had for however long, right? It's just that you suddenly look at it for the first time, like closely for the first time in a while, probably, and it suddenly dawns on you how much you like it, and it probably reminds you why you got it in the first place.
Yeah, that's correct.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I totally get that.
Yeah, on the buying side, the good news was that I was trying to restrain myself because I've got pieces bookmarked in the next several heritage auctions that I would like to bid on. So I was trying not to buy a lot of art this time on CAF Live.
Oh, you're making that effort to not buy?
Yes, I was trying to be disciplined.
Yeah.
I did find art that I bought, but I managed to at least the amount of money I spent equal the amount of money I took in. So
that's always a pretty decent timeout at a Comic Art Live, I would say, where you can kind of break even sales to buying ratio.
Yeah, I know quite a lot of people. Is this the one, Mickey, they were talking about? The Star Master?
Yeah, the one that he kind of increased the price a little because he wanted to keep it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's a really nice page here. You got the great characters. So, Beta Ray Bill and stuff. So, no, I totally get it. And a lot of, you know what, Mickey, a lot of people that I know over the years have told me the same thing, where it's like, well, if I make enough sales, if the sales dollar amount, at least covers the money I spent, I'm really happy, So there's something to be said for that. Yeah, it definitely feels, personally, to me at least, it certainly has always felt better. If I'm selling and buying, I'm always much, much happier if the sales number is higher than the spending number. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Was that the case for you?
So you know what? You want to talk about me? All right, let me.
We may as well organically transition to.
Yeah,
because you haven't done it in a while, right?
That's right. I probably haven't done it in a couple of years. How do I do it here? Which one is it? My manager
booth, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here I am, and so look. So what this was my theory is, in keeping with the point of setting up a booth here at CAF CON, which is to either bring fresh material for sale or older discounted, of course, in all caps, because a lot of people don't follow that and they bring the same stuff and they either don't discount it, and it should be like at a good discount, right? Not just a little tiny one from the last 2 years that two cons that you've had this stuff at. But anyways, that's what I was doing. But as you guys know, last week, I did that Monty Hall Let's Make a Deal episode right here on my channel. So basically, I just put that same stuff up. And to be honest, I wasn't gonna do it. The only reason that I did it at the last minute was because I realized, hey, if I actually open a booth, it'll give me more material to talk about, from my own perspective, and I can tell you guys at least, how it was for me, because I usually just talk about, how did my buying go or whatever,
Mhm.
and so I figured, okay, why not? Might as well open a booth, and I'll have
Yeah, I
something to
mean,
talk about.
because I mean, we had had an offline call on like Thursday, and at that point, I didn't know you were going to even have a booth.
Yeah,
Right?
no, exactly,
This
exactly.
past Thursday, we had a call, and he didn't mention it at all. So
No, that's
definitely
right.
was last minute.
Yeah, it was last minute. Like I said, yeah, I wasn't planning on it, Yeah, because again, it's what I've mentioned in the past when we did the review show 6 months ago. Is my luck has been crappy for the last couple. In the last 2 or 3 CAF cons that I did have a booth, for the amount of hours that I spent setting it up, the results were just not worth the time that I spent, right? So I hate that. It always bothers me. It pisses me off. So I'll just like forget it. I'd rather just concentrate on looking for stuff to buy, and that's it,
Well,
But yeah,
by the time when I saw your gallery on Saturday, by the time I noticed it that it was there, and I was like in a shock, like, oh my God, Rubén has a booth. I
yeah,
think you had already sold 2 pieces by the time I saw it. So I
yeah,
don't know how many you've sold since then, but that's cool at least. That
yeah. It's not too much. It's not too much. Let's take a look and
okay.
scroll, and we'll see. But I'll tell you one thing before we go anywhere. So I put up 24. 24. So I filled it out. The maximum spots available is 24. I
For
filled
Saturday.
24 for the Saturday.
Actually, right.
Yeah,
48
but I
total, right?
right. Yeah, I'm talking about per day, right? So it's you're allowed 24 per day. But I had no intention of doing anything more than the 24 Saturday. I had no intention of putting more for Sunday. I don't really, I didn't have any more. I mean, I've got plenty in my collection. I'm just not ready, so I'm not psychologically ready there to sort of decide what's going to go, what can go.
Well, if you only decided the night before, that's a lot of research to do 48.
Yeah, no, exactly,
You
for sure. So I thought, you know what? It'll also be interesting. It'll also be interesting just as a little bit of an experiment to see, hey, will I sell anything that I showed in the Monty Hall sale last week, right here on YouTube, just by maybe exposing it to a few more people that don't watch my show. Maybe they'll or didn't watch that week, and maybe they'll find it here, on CAF. So I figured it'll be interesting to see. So I can tell you that out of the 24 pieces, I believe I've sold 5. Okay. So that basically works out to a 20.8% sell through. So that's solid. I like that. That's good. I will say I typically don't get like I won't get excited by selling 5 out of 24. Like it's not a reason for me to get excited. However, I'll say one thing, and this is the key, because there are two data points that I really like to look at. It's my sell-through percentage, right? So how much I'm selling as a percentage of the whole amount offered, right? So that's interesting to me always. But what's also important is what sold, right? Because I can sell, for example, if I have 24 pieces and I sell 10, right? On a sell-through percentage, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be, wow, that's fantastic, almost half. But if all 10 pieces happen to be adding up to a sum total of like $2,000, let's say, as an example, I wouldn't be happy, right? Because it just shows that I sold a bunch of stuff, but it was all low cost art, right? In this weekend show, I'm happy to report for the first time in years that I had a good show in like okay in sell through percentage. I'm satisfied with the sell through, but much more happier because even though it was only a sum total of about 5 pieces, 2 of them are multi-$1,000 pieces, so that makes a big difference, right? Like,
Yeah, that makes a huge difference in whether you felt like it was, your last minute decision is worth it or it was a
right,
pain. Yeah.
Right. Which I can tell you, I spent 4 hours, right? So it was 4 hours, 4 hours straight I spent from start to finish setting up the booth. So yeah, if I spend 4 hours and I sell 5 pieces, but it only totals to like $700 or $1,000, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back to not setting up a booth again, you know? But yeah, I lucked out, and I sold, you know, like I said, a couple of pieces that made it worthwhile. So let me show you guys, in case you're curious, what I sold. So I sold this little, the big Barda piece. Keep in mind though, like it says up here, guys. So I've decided to set up this booth for the first time in a couple of years and offer art for my website at substantial discounts. So I can say that for almost every piece, I had the prices at or pretty close to my cost. So for me, it wasn't about making profits or whatever. It was just trying to get cash flow coming in. That's it, you know? So yeah, so with that in mind, sold the little Mahmoud Asrar Big Barda piece here. I sold what else? This one. So
Oh wow,
I had
the Bob Brown.
Yeah, the Bob Brown Daredevil piece. I put it, you know, I had it at 6,500 and I put it at 52. And yeah, so I'm gonna miss it. I've owned it for a very, very long time. Yeah, it's given me a lot of like this. I've gotten so much joy out of this piece over the years. I can't tell you, to the point where me and a friend of mine, when we go to Jeff's house every September for the comic art collector gathering, we not only laugh about the page and talk about it every single time, but we kind of like reenact what happens on it because it's so over the top ridiculous, you know. So yeah, it's been a fun piece to own, and yeah, sad to see it go, but you know, it always feels good when it's hard. It's easier, I think, to let go of stuff when I have gotten so much joy out of it for so many years. You know, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but yeah, I feel like when I owned it for decades or many years, I feel like
I wouldn't know compared to you guys because I only started collecting published art like eight years ago or something. So 8 or 9 years ago now at this point. But yeah,
yeah. Let me just.
You guys would know more than me on that. But what was your original asking price on that Bob Brown? I forget.
Like, oh yeah, sorry,
not the Comic Art Live, but the website or whatever. What was the discount that because you were discounting stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah. So on my site it's 65. But I had put it for I think I had offered it for either 6 or 58, I think. Or maybe, you know what? I might have gone down to 52. I'd have to go back. Sorry, man. Yeah, don't quote me because I don't really remember.
Okay. But it was a nice buying opportunity for whoever.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Exactly. You know. So yeah. So there you go. So there, the buyer's happy. He like me. You know, he's happy because it's got kooky. You know, for those of you who don't know, Bullseye knocks Daredevil out unconscious. Knocks him off his feet and completely unconscious with a paper airplane. So yeah, it's wacky as wacky can get. And you'd almost think this was a 1960s DC page or something, you know? Right, Mickey?
Yes, of course. Silver Age DC page.
There you go. So there we go. So we have that. I got a well-known dealer emailing me, wondering if I'd trade for this John Byrne Ithaca Journal leisure section of the newspaper cover by John Byrne with Hulk, Superman, Spidey, and Batman. I basically said, well, I don't know, this Wrightson page you have is, I guess maybe I'd trade for that if you want to do 1-for-1 on that. I don't expect them to go for it, but who knows, whatever. Ultimately, I'd rather just sell, because even the Wrightson page, I'd keep it for a little while just to enjoy it. But ultimately, it's not what I collect, and so I would put that up for sale in the end anyways. So yeah, it's probably better I don't do a trade because, trading 2 nickels for a dime, for something that's this expensive, having to go cross border, it's just kind of risky. The risk entailed in cross bordering, yeah. So what else? What else did I have? Okay, yeah. So I sold the Keith Pollard Fantastic Four page that I offered on last week. This is the same price I offered it for last week. I remember that, $850, down from $1,200. And that's from the Fantastic Four, $195. And then, I sold my beloved Kurt Schaffenberger. I only owned this one for a couple of years. World of Smallville Splash. He's sitting there like Rodin's The Thinker.
No, I really like that splash.
I love that.
It was sold by the time I saw your booth already. So yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So, and that's it. So, how many is that? So let's see. 1, 2,
5.
I think it is 5. 3, 4. Oh, see, I could have sworn. I'm trying to think. I'm getting all these emails today. I was so busy with emails. It's crazy. I'm trying to think. Let me see if maybe I just forgot I sold something and I just forgot to maybe put it sold. Let me just quickly take a look at everything. I did have somebody interested in the Eaglesham Batman 80-page giant half splash, but I'm waiting for confirmation from him, so it's not sold yet. And then no,
all right, well,
but no, I guess it's just for now.
Figure it out eventually. Whether it's 4 or 5, it's pretty much close to the same percentage right there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So if it's 4 divided by 24, so yeah, you're looking at 16.6. Yeah, which is okay. It's fine. Okay, sell through percentage. So yeah.
Stanley brings up the next organic transition from there. Now that you're flush with the cash, did you buy or did you partake on the buying side at all? Let's just.
I did not.
There you go. So the delta between your selling and buying is at max capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which makes you all the happier.
Yeah,
based on your preamble from before. Yeah,
exactly. I kind of like Mickey was saying, like, I was trying. I keep repeating the same thing, right? I am in the last many years been trying to psychologically prepare myself to start parting with not just try to get rid of all my inventory, but also, and I mean, store inventory, but also eventually plan for moving on from my collection, or at least a large portion of it, and obviously it's you're a collector, it's such a tough process, that's why it's taking years, but I'm trying, I'm slowly but surely trying. It's just that I'd rather try first of all moving the inventory than the collection stuff, obviously, right? Yeah, Marcus. Marcus says I broke it out of the frame. I broke it out of the frame. That's true. I had it shipped to him. He was nice enough to take possession of it and get it shipped to me. So he was good enough to do that. I appreciate that, Marcus. You know that, of course. But I will miss that one. But yeah, no. So part of
I want to talk about a few pieces that I looked at. I did not buy, but I thought they were good bargains.
They were tempting for you.
Yeah, tempting.
Yeah, for sure. And you have your list ready, Mickey?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first
all right.
one
So hold on. Let me.
Tom Strong. Family.
Okay, hold on. Let me first reshare the screen. And we'll do that. So search art for sale. Here we go.
And this would be a sold piece. So this was Tom Strong Family.
Okay, hold on. So,
right.
Tom Strong Family?
Yes.
Okay. And that's all I got. Is it a sold one or for sale?
It's a sold one.
Oh, okay. So look at
this. Is this that like $200 commission piece or the $700 page?
$200. The $200 commission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
No,
Hey,
you can't get
lovely
that
Chris
for
Sprouse.
$100 from Chris Sprouse.
Mm-hmm.
$200 for 5 characters?
Yes.
Yeah,
What
that's
a
killer. It was
bargain.
it was already sold by the time I saw it. So
Yeah. It was
Great.
already sold by the time I saw it. I couldn't believe it. It was like, what?
Mhm.
Ah, Shannon El Guapo. Shannon Slayton sold it. Wow.
Yeah.
Shannon, you gave it away.
Yeah. So whoever
Wow.
got that got an incredible bargain.
Yeah.
Did they sell the page that sold too, the $700 page, or was that someone else?
I do not know.
Oh, you're saying who sold it? Yeah, it was Shannon also.
Same person. Yeah, same person. Yeah.
Yeah. Shannon Slayton. Very Michael Golden inspired. Slick inking. Very nice.
Yeah, I love that.
Very, very nice work. But yeah, for 200, it's a giveaway price for sure.
Yeah.
What else we got here, Mickey?
So these are not sold. Ruby
still for sale.
Armor, Ruby Amor.
Oh, Ruby Amor.
Roby.
Yeah, Ruby, Ruby EMOR. And
what? Oh, can I do it just by putting Ruby Moore? That's how we call them.
You have to search the for sale, not the sold. This is
for sale.
This is a piece available still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's not how you spell it. It's Roby, ROBY.
Oh, you're talking about Robbie Amor.
Yeah. John Amor's brother, Roby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Filipino artist. I mean, not that Robbie is not Filipino.
Yeah.
I mean, the old school Filipino.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Moore.
No, it's a new school Filipino.
The new school Filipino. What up, Robbie? All right. 11. Which one is it?
So the last of the Mohicans one. The last down to the end.
Oh yeah, that
right
one was
there.
cool.
Yeah.
That one was not being sold by him though. He had his own booth set up.
No, that's not being sold by him.
As Jim D'Amico selling it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim D'Amico.
Yeah. Only $150.
150. Look at that. Look at the detail on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like giveaway. This is like so affordable. Like there's so much more work in this than $150 worth of an artist's time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does do great work.
Yeah. So there you go, Robbie. We promoted you. Robbie pops in from time to time, but he's not here now. It's a shame. Okay. What else we got?
The next one is going to be another. This is from the one of the next people also. Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 29.
Just type Buffy, and I'm sure there's so few results, right?
Or Buffy 29 might do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Justine Franny?
Yeah, that's it. That's a published cover.
Oh, wow. $500 for a published cover of Buffy.
Yes.
Wow.
Are you a Buffy guy, like the show or the comics, or?
Yeah, I was a big fan of the Buffy show in the beginning. I bought when the comics first came out back, I don't know, 20 years ago. I was collecting those comics.
Cool.
So, I love the colors.
Yeah.
The color palette is beautiful. Yeah.
I couldn't believe that hasn't sold. I mean, I was tempted, but I was like, stay in your lane, stay in your lane.
Yeah. No, I know. That's the kind of stuff that, always supremely tempts me as well. Stuff that's beautiful, affordable, right? For a few $100, but it's not something that's in your lane. So you're like, I gotta hold off.
Well, you just said it is in his lane, kind of. But
yeah, I mean,
not enough to veer you off your path, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely a bargain for what you have to pay for it, for sure. All right. Next, anything else?
The next one would be, this one is George Wilson, Indian Chief.
Indian Chief or Engine Chief?
Indian
Chief. It should come up like that.
Squirrels definitely run into your regular lane from time to time.
All right, so this one wasn't cheap, but it's a George Wilson, and it wasn't published.
Okay.
It's a great George Wilson painting.
It's beautiful for
It's beautiful.
George Wilson. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very nice.
Yeah, that's in Zadek's gallery.
Yeah, that's Zadek Langenbach.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was just beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, 22. Like I don't follow the market, but it does seem like 2250. I've seen, published George Wilson pages go for many thousands of dollars. So
Yes.
I think it's probably, properly priced for an unpublished cover,
Correct.
Yeah. Very, very nice. All right.
This one, Resurrection Man. Let's go with 1. Resurrection Man 1.
Is that double S or double R or both?
Double R, not S.
Double R.
Oh yeah. Right, that's right. Resurrection Man. Can be too many. Oh, is that the Butch Geist? Yeah.
The Butch Geist one, yeah.
Yeah. Look at this.
They're both Butch Geist ones, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Quantum Karma #1.
Yeah, Quantum Karma. That it's priced at $2,000, which is understandable, but it's a great cover.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And look at all those skulls. I mean, the skull percentage is awesome. Woo!
Whoa. Yeah, I love skulls. It's just like
yeah, you too?
An
Yeah,
extra
I love
$100 per skull over
Yeah.
FMB,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Love skulls and skeletons. Yeah. So it's fantastic. It really is.
man,
Maybe an extra
time,
200
another
for the
day,
big
I
skull.
would have bought this.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let me just take a quick look at this one. A Mad Genius original art sale. So this is not not Dave Carlin. Let me see. No, Jason Wright.
They must have bought them as a collector at some point, and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, beautiful work. Yeah, I miss Butch, and that's another crazy thing about life. 2 out of Mike Perkins's 3 former studio mates are now gone already.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
wow.
Like that's crazy. Drew and Butch, both of them. Oh my god, crazy, man. Oh, okay. What else, Mickey?
All right, here's another one. Barry Smith Cull.
Cull by Barry Smith.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too many culls. I think Cull will get me.
Yeah, you should be fine there.
Oh, the Cull of Atlantis one?
Yeah. Now, this is the early Barry Smith one that looks a lot like his early Conan work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And,
Exactly.
the Conan pages are like $1,000 or more. I mean, $10,000 or more now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, to me, this is like almost getting a Conan page, but for only $3,000 or $3,500.
Yeah. Except, of course, you got to remember, in this case, Conan isn't on it, or Cull, I should say.
I know.
Yeah.
But
So you still have to spend quite a bit of dough, to get it, and you're not getting the Cull on it.
But I'd be happy with a page like that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what matters, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
What's
you want
next?
a good example of early Barry Smith, that would be a good one.
What's next, Mickey?
The next one was let's go with Dan Brereton.
Dan Brereton.
Yeah, Giant Killer.
Okay. Which one now?
The Giant Killer one.
Giant Killer.
Yeah.
And by the way, who's selling? From the Land Beyond is the seller.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is $3,500.
Yeah, so it's priced at the right price.
Right.
It's not the price. It's about what his covers go for. And I thought, I've got a couple of Brereton pieces. If I didn't, this would have been very tempting.
Okay. Yeah, some 2019.
I think I want to hold off for one of his his own creations.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. But how do you see? This is what I don't get. Like, how is this 3,500? Like, it's for some artists that I don't follow. I find it hard to sort of figure out how they price it because I'm like, I see this as supposedly a portfolio cover. Okay, and okay, a portfolio is not a comic, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still a published piece. It's got a female character, pretty cool background, and a skull.
Let's go.
And it's only 1,500. That seems like a way better deal, you know?
Yeah,
What's the size?
that is a better deal.
Yeah.
If you were looking for a good example of Brereton art.
Yeah. It's sorry, Kavi. It says oversized, but they don't. I love.
Yeah, I know.
love,
Like,
I
I
love
hate
the way
that. Like, that's why I asked the question because I saw that in the comments, like in the description, and I was like, okay.
Doesn't that just rankle you when people they don't tell you the size? But they'll say, "Oh, it's oversized." Well, yeah, but how much?
You gotta define that. That's too
vague. Come
yeah.
on, man. That's crazy. So crazy. Anything else, Mickey?
I think those are those are the pieces I want to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me come back to you guys.
Oh, one more. Sorry, one more.
Oh, one more. All right.
Yeah. This is called Secret Avengers, number 14.
Avengers. Oh, I saw this originally for Mike. Okay.
Yes. Now look at the price the person selling it for.
Pretty weird. 563 exactly.
563 exactly. I don't know how much you sold it for initially.
I initially sold it back a long time ago for 500.
Did this one sell or is it still up?
No, it did not sell. I was trying to convince Peter to buy it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Peter.
The war guy.
The war guy, but it's he collects. He's into World War II.
Yeah,
and so
Alberto says he was tempted.
This probably could have sold if the person explained what the cover was about.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel was doing that series where they were doing I Am Captain America, and they were showing different people as Captain America. Just like I Am Spartacus.
Yeah.
So I think they were riffing off of that.
Yeah.
I think if someone had actually said, I think that's, I'm not sure who the female figure is, if it's Sharon Carter or if it's Peggy Carter that became Captain America, or who they're trying to portray.
Interestingly, her name on her uniform says Rogers.
Exactly. So that was the confusing part about it. It's
is this like a multiverse? Is this a multiverse thing or continuity thing?
No, I mean it wasn't part of the story. I don't think it was just the covers.
Okay. Oh yeah. So this is the thing I complain about with Marvel all the time and the variants. It's like there's so many covers that don't match the content. Like a lot of the modern, a lot of the modern Star Wars books, I often use as the example.
Oh yeah, but Kavi, this is why I was showing earlier, focusing on this because they were celebrating Captain America's 70th anniversary, so they just wanted to do a theme on the covers of all the titles.
Right. Yeah. They do that They do that a lot. It's cool.
So that's it.
Yeah, and I think if person explained, what the cover was about, and who.
So cover art for the 1 in 20 I Am Captain America.
Married to Steve, most likely. So
yeah, he called it I Am Captain America variant. Yeah, which fits with what you were saying, Mickey, about people from everyday walks of life as Captain America.
Let's go on for another 5 to 10 minutes about this cover, so Alberto will buy it.
Well, let's put it this way: if I was a Captain America collector, I would have already bought this cover. That's all I'm saying.
But
strong words.
It is.
What's actually funny is that so back when that came out and I had it available and I first made it available, I had a customer who was a woman. And she, not only was she a woman, she was in the military. And I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect for her collection. Like, how could you not want to own something like that, And she wasn't interested at all. It wasn't her thing. It was just like, what? Like, if I was a woman in the military, I think I'd be like, yes, that's so me. That's me right there, you know? Oh man, like that would have been the perfect customer, I thought, but no, it wasn't, you know? Yeah, so it's pretty crazy how it can happen sometimes, you know?
Were you tempted by any Grummet, at least, even though you didn't buy?
No, I can't say I was. The majority of them, Stanley, that I saw were one guy had, I think, 8 to 10 pages from Rubén, and I'm not that big on the Rubén series. And interestingly enough, when Rubén was spun off into like these series of miniseries back in the early 90s, excuse me, I bought and read, I think, all 3 of the first 3 miniseries, and I believe I bought the first issue of the regular ongoing series, and that was it for me. Like, I like Rubén, like, okay, but primarily with Batman. I was never like so enamored with the character that I wanted to see solo adventures of him, you know? Yeah, so that's it. But some nice Rubén pages. But yeah, no, I didn't get any. CAF CON San says she was looking for Star Wars pages. Yeah, exactly. No Captain America, woman in uniform for me.
Did you notice that Mazzucchelli sketch of Wolverine for like $800 or $900 that sold?
No,
at a fellow Canadian Malvin V's booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He had a.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know the size off the top of my head or anything, but he had a Mazzucchelli Wolverine convention sketch, and it was like, you know, an affordable Mazzucchelli piece. So I thought that was interesting, and not surprised it sold. Obviously, you know.
Yeah. Michael McIsaac, what's happening, bud? You picked up one of those Rubén pages. Well, there you go. Why not?
Cool. Hey, what's up, Michael?
They were nice. Yeah, they were nice. And CJ says that under my theory, I only buy Alpha Flight pages. What? I don't know what theory that is, but that ain't my theory. I don't know. Are you trying to insinuate that for the Canadian, I only buy Canadian? Huh?
Yeah, that's a Canadian team, so you have
trying to insinuate that a Canadian collector must buy Canadian-related comic book characters, right? Yeah.
Correct.
There he's clarifying.
There, I just found that Mazzucchelli Wolverine sketch.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's just pencil. I think it's just pencils, but I'm not 100% sure.
You know, since we're live, so I might as well. I'm gonna find it and then I'm gonna share the screen so everybody can see it. So Mazzucchelli Wolverine. Oops, I put an 8 by mistake. Okay, and that is sold. Let me see. Sold. Okay, here it is. Oh, this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly, I gotta be honest. I never liked this one. I was familiar with this one in Malvin's collection. I never liked it myself.
I didn't like it enough to buy it when I saw it, and it wasn't sold. You know what I mean? Because when I saw it, it was still available, and I didn't pull a trigger on it or anything. But
yeah, let me share with you all. There you go, everybody. There we go.
That's what we're looking at, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Al? Good evening to you. Any buyer? Look at Sam. Sam Maroney's asking us. Any buyers spooked by international shipping with services so bad now? Do you mean? Oh, okay. You mean spooked by? You'd be scared of getting or having to make international shipments? My initial instinct was you're talking about spooked by the prices people were charging, but I think you mean just you're scary because of how the services are getting sort of
I think he means just hesitant to buy from international sellers right now.
Yeah, that's what he's confirming. Yeah. You know what? For me, Sam, everything I do, every transaction I do is international, right? So for me, I'm not the good person to answer that question. I'm used to it.
Mike says he's spooked. I don't know if he's just Mike in general or you know.
What up, Mike? Sig Slayer, Mr. Sig Slayer himself. Mike, I saw you sold a piece, and you didn't have that many pieces for sale, but you sold one at least. So that's not too bad. But he's
Stanley's exclusively scared of buying from the
They're
right north.
exclusively from the Canadians because they're terrible people. They have the bad rep, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just bought 2 pages from Italy, and they arrived last week. So
yeah.
yeah.
And how long did it take from the day they were shipped, would you say?
Well, they were sent by UPS. Remember, UPS had that disaster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that delayed it for a few days because
Okay.
they shut all their planes down for the weekend. So
Yeah.
I think it took like 7 days to get to me, or 8 days to get to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's still really good from overseas.
Yeah.
I find, you know, I definitely feel so. Yeah, with a delay, it still only took about a week. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Ian bought something, so good luck, dude. Hopefully no issues there from an international.
I bought something from an international seller. Maybe I should have been more scared, but I guess we'll see. Listen, you don't have to be scared, right? I mean, so far my service has been, you know, good from me to the States and also from the States to me. So, and I use the post office. But yeah, my service in both directions has been good so far. Now, I expect it to get really bad very soon, only because the Christmas crunch is about to start, right? So the system is going to get flooded with multiple the amount of times, multiple of their daily average from the rest of the year. So this is the time of year. I got to get my packages out this coming week, and then after that, I already told one of the guys that I made a sale to. He's actually going to send me half the payment now and half the payment in December. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but because you're not going to pay it off until December, then you're going to have to wait until probably the second half of January before I ship it to you, because there's no way I'm putting it into the system in the middle of December. There's just no way. That's asking for trouble, So yeah. Neon says, I would never ship internationally. Customs are so weird, and the chance for loss and theft is great. And any problems, regardless of what the issue is, PayPal will usually side with the buyer. I don't know, to each their own. To each their own. I can only tell you, Neon, that a lot of people outside the United States, yeah, we hate that. We can't stand it because Americans have most of the art that we want to collect. So most of us really, really hate the people who say, I only ship within the lower 48, So, but at the same time, I do to some extent understand. Listen, even me, I'm in Canada, and while I've always been very comfortable shipping to the United States and receiving from the United States, I admit I'm a lot more worried when I have to sell or receive from Europe or Asia or anywhere else outside my continent, So I kind of understand it, but unlike you, Neon, I still make the exception, and I do open it up to, I don't know how many, a few dozen countries, not everyone, but a few dozen overseas. Yeah, I figure I'll take whatever risks you think there are. I'll take some of those risks. But you know what I do though, Neon Dragon though, what you can do, if you're that scared, is you kind of say, I'll open it up to these countries, but you'll have to pay me by whatever, FNF, PayPal, FNF, and that way they can't claw back the money if anything goes wrong. Or if they try to, they can't try to screw you because, they can't claw the money back. So, you ship something to Canada and thinking UPS would be safer than the post office. Yeah, it was a nightmare. UPS lost and found it, and it took nearly 3 months. Listen, let me tell you and everybody else right now. Okay, and I was just talking to a few other friends locally, just recently. Okay, and I talk about this all the time, actually. In fact, Kavi, I talked about it with Kavi and a couple other friends with a chat we did privately. last week. Everybody, all of us have our preference of carrier, right? And all of us can probably come up with at least an example of at least one carrier who we hate because we had a bad experience with them, right? And so we swore off them. And so guess what that means, Neon, especially since you're the one who's making the comment. When you really think about it, what it comes down to is with all the transactions that happen and all the shipments that happen every single day all over the world, okay, when you think about how many packages all these carriers actually have, that they take possession of and have to deliver, I think on the whole, I think I can say they all do a fantastic job. Like millions of packages per day are handled. And when you think about the fact that the amount of packages that go lost or temporarily lost or whatever, it's a tiny, infinitesimally small percentage. When you think about it, I don't know. I think you can make the argument that I'm shocked that the number of things that go missing isn't even higher. I think they all do a great job. I think ultimately what it comes down to is none of them, I don't think, is really, you can't prove that one of them is better than the other or one of them is worse than the other, right? You can only gauge based on, what most people in this hobby do. You gauge based on your own personal experience. And that's what happens is whenever you have a bad experience with a given carrier, you blame them for everything and you hate them from that point on and you stick to everybody else but them. I get it. But I'm just saying, for everybody who hates the post office and bitches about it, I can find you just as many people who will say the same thing about FedEx, just as many people who will say the same thing about UPS, the same amount of people who will say the same thing about DHL, and on and on and on. So that's what you got to keep in mind. So ultimately, we choose the one that we feel most comfortable with, and that's what we do. Me personally, the reason I always stick with post office exclusively, even though they have scared me a few times over the years, right? Where something felt like it was missing and it was going to get lost permanently. Thank God it ultimately showed up. But ultimately, I love the fact that, again, it's not the same situation for me as most of you. Most of you guys are in America and most of you deal, like the majority of your transactions are within the United States. So for most of you, you don't really think about this stuff as much as somebody like me and people like me who are outside the United States. But for me, because every transaction is international, I just feel like I prefer the post office because at least the post office brokers all their packages themselves, right? Whereas UPS, FedEx, DHL, all those couriers, they use outside brokers, and it's this massive hassle where if it's crossing a border, the sender always has to include not just an invoice, but 3 copies of an invoice. So even if it's a regular person-to-person transaction, they expect an invoice of some kind, and it's like I don't want to spend the extra time having to make up an invoice, whatever. Like if I don't have one, if I make a commercial transaction through my website, yeah, I'll have an invoice, right? But if it's a person-to-person, oftentimes a collector-to-collector, it's just emails. We're talking through email. You say, okay, I'm going to pay you. All right, here's the money. Thank you. I'm going to ship it off to you, right? And there's no invoice. So I don't want to have to make an invoice and print out 3 copies of it. And it's a hassle. Okay, it's a lot more hassle. And then I find that at the border, when it gets to the border, I find those courier companies, FedEx, DHL, UPS, I find they have more problems at the border than the post office. So that's the Bin Laden.
I had to let's wrap up the shipping conversation with that. Although Mark Fong did have a question about.
What happened to Kavi?
I guess we just lost Kavi. He said somebody had a question. Mark,
he hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
He hit the wrong button
button again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Fong had a question about international. He is an international guy, right? So he's
Exactly.
buying almost everything he buys must be international, right? Like,
yeah. Has anybody answered yes? How many of you guys buy insurance for international shipping? And by the way, Mark, are you talking from the perspective of you as a buyer expect?
well, this is more
insurance?
context, Ruben. This is more context right here.
I have
I've
bought
bought
over 1,000 items. Only 3 never arrived. I also rarely buy insurance. So yeah, you're trying to you're playing the odds because you know the odds are in your favor, you know, and so you saved over the years. You've saved a ton of money on the insurance, you know, because of course insurance is expensive, and it always comes out to. I mean, if you're not, you know, when you're talking about anything more than just a few $100, once you start going above that, yeah, the insurance starts to become at least as expensive as the shipping cost itself or more, you know. Like for example, you spend $2,000, an American buys from another American, and you spend $2,000, for instance, and the shipping may be $25 or so, but if you want to fully insure it, it's another 60 or whatever, you know, whatever the number is, you know. So yeah, so a lot of people in my experience, who I've spoken to over the years, Mark, they don't insure. They feel like, oh, I'll take the risk, whatever, and yeah. And I think a lot of it is, you know, when they feel they can trust the person they're buying from, they know that if they can trust that person's not a moron and that they're gonna pack it properly, whatever, you know. I think most collectors in our hobby, they fear damage more than total loss. Like in other words, the package disappears permanently and forever, you know. And so I think most collectors, as long as they trust the person they're buying from knows how to properly pack and will pack securely, and I think that's what people do. They feel like, okay, yeah, it'll be fine, you know, because most people will go their entire lives never having lost a package, you know. That's the reality of it. And so they figure, yeah, why I don't, you know, the odds are very, very, very high that something will go wrong ultimately. You know, I don't know. What do you guys think, Miki and Kavi?
Well, I used to pay for collectibles insurance. I assume similar to what Peter's saying here. He says his comic insurance covers ship art with certain restrictions and rules and things.
Yeah.
So I used to be covered through those methods. I don't think I ever really paid additional insurance though on anything specific beyond that. That wasn't covered by that policy that I can recall, but I may have. It's just I don't buy a lot from international, and I don't buy a lot of high-end stuff through the mail. If I'm buying higher end stuff, more than likely I'm trying to figure out a way for the exchange of the art to be done at a convention. Or it's through an auction house, right? Of which they have a whole, you know, the trust levels is, you know, a little bit built in there, but then again, they're using the same carriers as everyone else. So, you know, I don't know how they handle insurance, right, on outgoing.
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of the extent of my knowledge. Luckily, I've never had a total loss situation, and I've never had a package go completely missing. I've only had minor damage issues, which those individual sellers have accommodated a solution for. Let's just say that, right? So there was no reason for any insurance situation to ever get involved for me personally. What about you, Miki? Anything?
Usually, if I'm selling art, I ask the buyer if they want insurance.
Okay.
If you're selling,
usually,
yeah.
And then usually I just put if I'm shipping, I put minimal insurance just to say that at least there's some value to the thing, but not the full value of the insurance. Because as Neon Dragon has said, if you put too high of a value, you pay a lot of insurance, but you also make it more attractive for someone to steal the package.
Yeah,
because it's insured for a lot of money.
This is something that I've always had to deal with, right? Because every transaction for me is international. And it's funny because I always thought to myself, you know what? This problem, which of course links to under declaring, which of course the governments, every government's customs, they don't want that. Obviously, we get that, right? The problem is these post offices all over the world, even I guess the couriers. There's one thing they could do to help all of us alleviate this situation, which is if we didn't have to have the declared value showing right on the package, then I can promise all these customs all over the world, they wouldn't have to worry about people under declaring, okay? Because if it was done in such a way that the shipper does his order online, right? Put the declaration of, $5,000, right? And then when they print out the label, you don't see the $5,000 because they have it fixed so that it's embedded in the what do you call it? Either with a tracking number or embedded in the barcode, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they just fix their system, right? Change the system so that the declared value does not show on the label. That's it. Problem solved. Nobody on earth would ever be scared, right, to put the real value. And that would allow everybody also to then, hey, you want some insurance? Let me insure this. Okay, let's insure this. You know what I mean? So much more safety. Nobody would fear theft because that's what every hobbyist fear is. Their biggest fear is actually, it's not even so much damage or the package might get lost. It's, oh my God, this is expensive. And if I declare this at the full value, oh my God, I'm scared. This tiny little package that doesn't even weigh 2 pounds. It's so easy for some employee somewhere along the delivery chain who's not happy with his job, right? To be like, ooh, what the hell is this? This little package is worth $5,000. What? What the hell is in here? It's so flat. It's got to be a piece of paper. What could it be that's worth 5 G's? You know, so it's like, it's just the temptation is too high. So think about how easy it would be. Change your friggin' systems. How hard is that going to be? You know, so that the declared value is not printed on the package, but instead shows up when it gets to customs and you scan the package, it shows up internally on your computer system. That's it, right? And let me tell you guys something. I know that is easy possible to do because of the fact that with the new tariffs now, okay, here in Canada, we have had to, they have forced us to have to pay the tariffs up front. The sender in Canada, if we're going to ship to America, we are now forced to pay the tariffs up front, right? So Canada Post, they hooked up with this company called Zonos, okay? They've always been in the business of collecting tariffs, okay? And so what we do is we hook up our Canada Post account together with this Zonos account, right? You sign up with them, and then you link the accounts together, and then from that point on, all we got to do is we do business as usual. When we go to the Canada Post account and we fill out our orders on Canada Post, the only difference is that from before 2025 is that from now on we always have to also include the HS code for the product we're shipping. Okay. Thankfully, for those of you who still don't know, thankfully there are no tariffs on original artwork. Okay. So as long as we put in the correct code, we enter the correct code for original artwork. All right. Then what happens is this company, Zonos, once we fill out the Canada Post order, all the information gets immediately transmitted to customs in the United States. And so when the package arrives in the United States and it gets scanned, they can see, oh, it's HS code, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's no tariff on this product, and they just let it pass through. So that's the thing. They do it internally behind the scenes. So if they can do it for the tariff information, certainly they can do the exact same thing for the declared value, you know? So that's it. There you go.
We are officially at the 2-minute warning, Rubén, where if you wanted to look at any pieces left on Comic Art Live, you have 2 minutes to do it.
I got to go. Sorry, everybody. I got to go take one last look. See you guys. The show's over.
Well, I actually just sold the piece.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
My email, I sold the piece.
Wow.
Yeah,
nice, man.
It's a cheap piece, but it's still a sale.
Okay, it's another piece. Whatever. It's another sale. So that's
Another
nice,
sale.
you know? But yeah, so that's what I say. That's really would solve so many problems in one shot. But you know what's funny is I call up the Canada Post on the phone. Hey, Hyder. I call up Canada Post on the phone and I ask, hey, I told them about this issue, right? That I just explained. I'm like, that would solve so many problems for everybody. Customs would be happy, receivers would be happy, shippers would be happy. Who can I talk to? Like, who can I talk to get Canada Post to do this? You know? And they're like, I'm sorry, I don't know. Nobody has ever called to ask about that. So I don't know. I'm just a phone person, you know? So, and that's the problem. That's the problem, right? I would need to literally talk to some higher up at Canada Post, or even talk to somebody in America. You know, how do you get in touch with somebody at higher up? You know, like that's it. So that's the problem. So anyway, so that's
Carlos
that's the
is killing me with this. Two most passionate tariff people in the world, Trump and Rubén.
What's up, Carlos?
Yeah, but you would mention that original art is generally not subject to tariffs.
No, right, it's not.
Yes, correct. Because my 2 pieces I got from Italy came through tariff free.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's what, as long as they use the right HS code number, it should go through tariff free. Absolutely. What up, DJ in the house?
Yevgeny was here also. What's up, Yevgeny?
And Yevgeny, what's good, buddy? Have a good night, DJ. And yeah, so whatever. So that's it. But you know what, Caesar? It's never long enough because yeah, most of you don't have to really deal with this because you guys have always had free, you know, you import from any country and you never get charged taxes or tariffs or whatever, you know. But in the other direction, every other country has to pay like sales taxes and stuff. You know, so that's why we care so much. It's a lot more important for us, for sure, you know. But anyways, yeah, so that's it. Guys, I wanted to switch topic here because I wanted to know. I was wondering if you guys wanted to talk a little bit about when it comes to CAF CON, pros and cons. All right, is there anything that either of you, and I'm sure everybody in the chat, you know, I know they always have something to say. Is there anything that you two guys want to sort of say, hey, I really like this about it, and or oh man, I really wish they would do this or improve it by doing that? You know, is there anything like that, pros and cons about CAF CON that you could think about that you want to bring up? Because I've got something I for potential improvements.
Well, why don't you start and then we can think about it. And
okay.
Unless
so one thing,
Mickey, that you want to say.
Yeah, the one thing I would say that I thought about was if it was an easy way to transfer something from your CAF gallery into your sale gallery. Yeah.
Okay, into the CAF CON.
Into the CAF Live.
Rather than having to re-upload or
logistically,
upload.
That would be convenient, but yeah. It's. I think it's all. Yeah. At the same time, though, it's
Other people have said that before, so you're not the first guy who has said that. Yeah. But I think it's a question of how the site is built, the platform, how it's built, right? Because it's kind of archaic.
I think that's it's a problem.
Yeah.
I understand it's a problem. Otherwise, they would have done it. It was easy to
right.
done.
Yeah. Exactly. I believe absolutely they would have done it. Yeah. It's too much trouble, unfortunately, you know. Yeah. I just wanted to sort of say, and I don't know. Let me know, guys. Everybody, especially if this is something you've ever noticed. Okay. Sorry, what did Mike say about that? I keep calling it CAF CON.
Well, he's just saying that maybe the branding needs some
Oh,
since you're still calling it CAF.
Well, you know what, Mike? You know what? I've always called it CAF CON because it made no sense up until recently when they recently changed the name of the YouTube channel, right? They kept calling the YouTube channel Comic Art Live, and the CAF CON, they called it Comic Art Live. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, that's horrible branding. Why would you call your YouTube channel, which you're using to kind of promote your website, the same name? It made no sense at all. It was so ridiculous.
Well, what about this one from Stanley? They shouldn't limit the number of pieces.
No, I disagree. I personally disagree. I find, like I've said, I find it overwhelming as it is.
I don't think I could ever get to 48, so I'm cool with it. But
yeah.
Maybe some people feel differently. I don't know.
I'm good with 48. I could barely get to 48.
Yeah.
That's right, baby. CAF CON. I know everybody I know, most everybody I know calls it CAF CON. So anyways, but yeah, no, I definitely think it's all overwhelming as it is. I don't, yeah, listen, I'm the guy who was saying they should consider trying it out just once. Try it out. Saturday only, baby. Saturday only, just to see how it goes. You know, it wouldn't hurt them, I don't think, to, you know, since they're not taking a piece of the sales anyways, it wouldn't hurt to try one time making it Saturday only. And then if they didn't like it, if most people complained, okay, go back to Saturday, Sunday. Kazra's not on board. Kazra's not on board with my ideas. All right, Kazra, whatever. Listen, you do what you want. It's your business. I get it. No worries. And if they didn't limit the listings, it would be called dealer inventory. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's too much. I find it's already overwhelming as it is, you know.
What else is on your
yeah, so it's just kind of a minor thing. It's a minor thing, I'll admit, but it does seem to me like it would be kind of obvious. I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know about you guys. You guys can tell me. I like to look at what sells periodically throughout the weekend, right? I want to see what's sold, okay? And listen, I imagine a lot of people like to see what's sold, which is one of the reasons, that's one of the options, you know, searching by the stuff that's sold, right? But in addition to that, unless I'm missing something or not seeing it properly, the problem I have with it is that, let's say, so let me give you a quick hypothetical. Let's say I check in the middle of Saturday and I see 100 pieces of sold. Okay. Okay, great. So I will be willing to look through the 100 pieces. I'll go through everything, right? And then let's say 3 or 4 hours goes by and I want to check again. Hey, how much more stuff sold since I last checked? And let's say a few hours later, it's 125, for instance. So I'll be like, oh, another 25 pieces sold. My first instinct is I want to see those 25, right? What are those 25 pieces that sold? Because I've already seen the first 100, right? But as far as I can tell, there's no way to see just those last 25 that have sold since I last checked. So I think what you need in the drop-down menu is search by most recent. You just need to add search by most recent sales. That's it.
Well, it doesn't even have to be. You can just you can have it sort by, not search by. You can just have it sort by. If you just go to the list of everything that's sold, if there was a little option that said you can sort it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's in that sort. It's in that sort by option drop down menu. That's what I'm saying. So now what happens is I'll search a few hours later and it'll say, it'll show me, oh, 125, but it shows me the same 125 and you can't sort them by the most recent sales. That's what I'm saying. All they would need to do is add sort by most recent. So then you have one drop down menu that you do sold. You're going by the sold stuff, and the other drop down menu that tells you most recent. That would be fantastic. And I think that's very easy to do, to add, because otherwise, think about it. When you're on Sunday, let's say, or even later on later on Saturday or Sunday. When suddenly there's, let's say, okay, 217 pieces sold. But then a few hours later, you check again. Oh, it's 263. Well, I'd like to see the last 53 pieces that sold without having to look through all 260 whatever pieces. You know what I'm saying? And right now, as far as I can tell, the only way to see what sold is by going through everything all over again. So I find that annoying, and I think it's an easy ad. So I don't know. Kazra, what do you think, man? Don't sit there quietly. What do you think? I don't know. And you guys let me know. I don't know. Let me look at your comments.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool. I'm checking the sold and on hold pretty frequently when I do have the time to search. So
okay.
I don't know. But then again, I only search for like 90 minutes to 2 hours each day. So I won't see that refreshed list of solds as frequently as you, I guess, if that makes sense.
Right. So nah to what? Nah, you don't want to show, you don't want to add a little thing in the drop-down menu that just says, it allows people to see the most recently sold so that it's easy for us to see the most recent one since we last checked?
No, I think he meant that. So I think Marcus says have Kazra on. I think that's what he was saying.
Oh, I see. Okay, this and that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's tough, right? You got to be careful, right? When it's, when you're just watching posted messages rather than people speaking live, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Kazra, I don't know if you even heard me.
Well, I'm actually thinking that Kazra's probably going to discuss that on Bill's show.
Okay.
Bill is having the after con show.
Yeah.
Right.
I assume that's over already and was very short.
Okay.
Because they've been doing stuff all weekend, you know.
Okay.
I doubt that goes late Sunday, but.
Carlos.
Do we have any other comments from the?
Carlos says that he thinks that only a few would find that beneficial. I don't know. None of you so far really have spoken up about it.
I mean, well, I said that, you know, I'm looking at that, but not nearly as frequently as you.
Well, I only look at it. I maybe only look at it 2 or 3 times on a Saturday, 2 or 3 times on a Sunday. Yeah, but like I said,
I think,
I don't.
Yeah, which means it's even for you. It's like, it's not like.
No, but that's valuable. That's actually more than enough. That's valuable to get a sense of what's selling. But again, when you've already watched the first 100 and suddenly another 50 or 60 have sold, the way it is now, you're forced to have to look through everything from start to finish and hopefully find the pieces you didn't that weren't there before. You know what I mean? Because they're slotted in, you know, by price or, you know, however they slot them in. So yeah, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Like technologically, you would need to create a system where when the seller marks a piece as sold, a timestamp is created, and then they would have to take that timestamp and then reorder the list based on the order of the specific timestamp.
Well, I don't think you would need the user to have to be involved with that, because if you think about it, look at the CAF, like the regular CAF site, right? Most of us look at the art that's posted every day by going to the new art section, which is posted in order of the most recently posted. So that's all I'm saying is make it like that. Make it like the new art section on CAF, so that
I know what you're saying, but
yeah,
but you have to understand that the CAF Live site is technically it's a different flow, right? It's a whole different process,
yeah,
right?
Separate part.
Yeah, and so and each individual seller has control over when their piece officially sells in the system, right? Like as of now, because there's no direct checkout, so payment could be a piece could be sold and then not marked as sold by the seller. A piece could be sold for a future date, for a future meetup at OAX in-person pickup or whatever, and be marked as sold. And it would require some sort of timestamp from when that action takes place.
Right. Well, I guess, yeah. I guess that's
to then redisplay the data in a way that you can sort by time sold. You know, that's what you're asking for is time sold.
Yeah, I think that the timestamp is already there, but like Marcus is saying, it would only get registered, I guess, once the person remembers to mark it sold, right? And a lot of people end up forgetting to mark it sold or whatever, right? Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah. Either way, look
But
at
anyway,
it.
whatever, it's just a suggestion, and like I said at the beginning, it's not like a big thing or whatever. It's just more of a smaller thing I would like, but I don't know. Anybody else?
Some other comments like from let's see,
Marcus,
it would be great.
Marcus, all week he's been like rattling on about how they're gonna sell CAF, making all kinds of comments about, hey, you're going to, they're traveling because they're gonna sell CAF. It's like, dude, that's probably the end game, no matter what, from the time Casper got into it. So I don't think that's kind of a secret, but I don't know why you're harping on it so much all week long, though. That's
okay.
wild.
So it was Hydra that said it would be great if sellers had an advanced summary of want lists.
And Casper says we're all gonna die. There you go. But yeah, sorry. Let's go back to sorry. Where was that again?
That's Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra. Be great if sellers had an advanced summary of want list. What do you mean by that? An advanced?
Well, everybody has a want list.
Like the keywords that you put in.
All the want lists.
Oh, I see. So that as a seller who's going to open a booth, you look at all these want list artist names or whatever, let's say, and think, okay, a lot of people are looking for this title or this character. Let me try to put some of that stuff. I don't know if that's a lot of work though. That'd be a lot of work.
It seems like a lot.
A lot of, I mean, for the seller, and a lot of extra work to have to go through that. I, as a seller, if I'm going to open a booth, I'm not going to bother wasting my time looking for through people's want lists. It's just way too much time spent. You know?
But that's what he's saying. Not if you had a summary that said there's 50 people who have Jim Lee on their want list. There's 105 people that have Art Adams on their want list.
Right.
So then, as a seller, you could look at that and say, okay, these are the top.
I feel like that. I mean, in one way, that's going to show you a lot of Captain Obvious type stuff. You know, like
yes.
But at the same, and then you know, probably more importantly and secondary to that, like that's kind of like important. I think. If you were to share that data to everyone, it would have to be presented in a careful way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but if by signing up for keyword alerts on the site, are you doing that under the scope of other people are going to know what your keywords are? You know, like
no, it's not on the keywords. I think don't you have a want list on your CAF?
Yeah, I have a want list for the keywords for new art that I want to see. Like I want to get the email alerts.
There's keywords and then there's a want list.
I think I have both, but I'm not sure. So you know, like,
but a summary of either of those without disclosing the person's name is what he's saying.
Yeah, and again, I just feel like me as a seller, and I have to believe most people opening a booth, whether they're official dealers or just collectors who occasionally sell, either way, I just don't see almost anybody willing to not only take the time it takes to fill up your set up your booth, which is already a lot of time, but before doing that, go through some kind of a want list thing, and I just don't think people would do it. And don't forget either, Hydra, other than a handful of dealers with massive inventories, it's not really helpful because the average, like most of these booths that open up, I mean, I think there's a lot more booths opened by collectors than by official dealers, I would think, right?
Well, along those lines, Stanley said that they should allow everyone to sell, not just premium members.
That's a whole other thing we can talk about, but hold on.
Is that the case? I thought other people besides premium members were selling, but am I wrong about that?
No, I believe you have to have at least a premium gallery to be able to sell. Yeah.
I just always have a premium gallery, so I don't catch all the nuances, you know?
Yeah.
I think you have to be a premium.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm just FYI, Stanley, I disagree with you. I think that's good. I think that's good. People who have never supported the site at all in any way financially, even by the minimal $75 annual, by the way, not monthly, annual fee. Why should you get the same benefits as everybody else, especially when it comes to getting an audience that can help you generate revenue for yourself? That CAF is not even going to take, they're not even taking a piece of, right?
Well, at the end of the day, free users can put up a piece for sale on CAF outside of Comic Art Live, and people will still see it for sale there. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Kazra says 0 data to AI. Yeah. And again, Stanley, to me, like I said, to me, it's already 7,000 pieces. It's already overwhelming enough. I don't need to see 9 or 10,000 pieces. You know, like again, 75. Listen, we're not 15 years old with you know, we're not 15-year-olds, 12-year-olds, right? Let's be honest. If you can afford, if you can afford to be a collector in this hobby, you can afford $75 per year to be a premium gallery member. You know, who's he talking to?
I think he's talking to Marcus. They're talking about Craigslist and Facebook buying CAF and all that or something. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know why he's on there. I don't get it. But anyways. But yeah, so that's how I feel about it anyways. So you're wrong, Stanley. This is the internet. This site should support our hobby, not limit it. It does support the hobby already. It allows tons of people for only $75 per year to open up a gallery and offer 48 pieces of art for sale free with no percentage taken from them. Period. I mean, if you can't do that, I don't know what to tell you, man. So I disagree.
I mean, like I was just saying, there's nothing stopping a free user from putting up a piece on CAF for sale the same weekend, right? They're going to take advantage of more traffic on the CAF site, but they won't be part of the Comic Art Live listings because they don't have a premium gallery, and I think that's fine. Just like you, Rubén, yeah. I'm with you on it.
Yeah, exactly. Mickey, what's your 2 cents on that?
I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. I think $75 is a minimum amount to pay for what you get. Now, if you want to be a free user, you can be a free user and use it, and you can still sell stuff, but you know, some of the perks are not going to be available. And
no,
the minimal amount.
Exactly. Soon a hamburger will be $75. Hey, listen, Neon.
They already are.
Neon, the place I like to go to for my burgers and fries. It's a sit-down restaurant. It's my favorite burger place. I'm paying like, after, you know, when it's all said and done with my tax and my tip, I'm paying like $32. So it's you're not really far off for a burger and fry. That's all I get, a burger and fry for that. So yeah, you're not too far off. And yeah, Peter, $6.25 per month. Like, it's nothing. It's seriously, like, we're talking about a hobby where even those of us who are in the sort of, have the smallest of budgets, the smallest budgets are still buying $50 pieces, $100 pieces several times per year. I don't think it's, I've said what I have to say.
I pay the $75 for being able to upload high-res scans alone. That's what I paid the $75 for. So all these other perks, like, I forget sometimes about what all the other perks and rules are. I'm so used to what I get with my premium membership, the high-res scans, the keyword alert emails, and, the Comic Art Live booths, et cetera, et cetera. Like, to me, it's like a no-brainer renewal. So every year.
Yeah, and let me just read this out loud for the people that watch. They listen to my show on Rewind as they work, and they don't watch it, but they listen to it. All right. Kazra says, CAF is free. We'll always have a free option, and we don't limit how many pieces you post. If that's not enough, talk to your mom. There you go. I mean, seriously, man. Holy shit. There you go. Thank you. Not that we needed you to put in your 2 cents, but yeah, there you go.
Now, Horner's Eye says Hoarders had made a comment that I don't know I can afford to be a collector in this market.
Oh, where's Hoarder's comment? I haven't seen Hoarder come in. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah. I know I can't afford to be a collector in this market. What do you mean? You're buying.
I don't understand that comment.
He's a collector, so it's kind of a weird comment.
It's a weird,
He's being funny.
He really is a collector, so
He's being funny because trust me, he buys more than enough shit, and he can afford $75.
Yeah, he's probably being sarcastic. Yeah.
Yeah, because he pays the 75. I know that. So yeah. So that's what I'm saying, you know. Oh, and Chuck Arnold in the house. What's up, Chuck? Also, if you enjoyed the data, the market data is really useful. But let's just make it clear that you don't get the data for the $75. If you like data, that's another $75. So that's two different things. Let's just to be clear, to be fair, that's another $75. So it's another option, but you don't have to take it, you know. And I don't know. Tell me, anybody or Kazra or whoever wants to, if you know definitively the answer. Do you still offer on CAF the option for people who aren't premium members to just pay $35, I think it was, and you can participate in the CAF CON? Because I know you guys were doing that for years. I don't know if that still exists.
That's a 3-month membership. That's a 3-month membership.
I see. It's a 3-month membership. Okay, there you go. So you can pay the cheap way. So if you're not a premium member, you pay $35, and that's like a cheaper way to just test out the get in early, the 2-hour early bird special on the CAF CON thing. Okay, I get it.
I think Bill said that's going to go away. This might be the last time to do that. Yes.
Marcus mentioned something about that. Yeah, Marcus mentioned in the chat that's going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but whatever. That's always been an option, so that's good too. And even if that goes away, I understand that. Like I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it. Listen, I'm not saying I want it to be this way, but if hypothetically, if they had made it so that even on the buyer side, you had to be a premium member, like I would have understood. You know, I think it's better to have more buyers, more potential buyers, obviously. So you don't want to limit the buyers. I think it's more important to limit sellers than buyers if you had to limit one or the other. But I still wouldn't have been upset if they did that, you know? So yeah, man, $75. It ain't nothing. If you're in this hobby and you're actually active, okay, even if you're one of the smaller collectors, you consider yourself smaller collector, lower budget, $75. I honestly feel like there's no excuse for anybody in this hobby who calls himself an active collector to spend $75 in a year. And by the way, just want to make it clear, I have very close friends, okay? Not only online, but here locally in my city, who at one point did be premium, but because they don't buy often enough, they feel like, I don't even post. I haven't posted in 2 years, so I'm not going to be premium. Okay, but even them, I still tell them, just be part of the community. $75 for a year, for Christ's sakes. I still tell them that, you know, but whatever. Some people, whatever, they don't want to listen. They're going to do what they're going to do. Again, I can't. I'm not going to be your father and your mother. You're going to do what you want at the end of the day, right? But I just want to make it clear that, even my close friends, I have to tell them off sometimes. Whatever.
Yeah, partly NSR doesn't think you have friends.
Oh, Mike, what would I do without you, man? Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Okay, some personal comments. Okay, any other sort of suggestions, things you might like to see or fix or add or take away or anything, guys? Anything with that? Because I didn't. I think, you know, other than that one little feature, I thought what I would like, I thought that would be good. Other than that, I was like, this works pretty good. I would say
I quite enjoy my time searching for art, occasionally selling. I didn't sell any this time, but in previous ones I've sold a few here and there. So yeah, generally speaking, I enjoy it. It's like I was saying, it's not the reason I buy a premium membership. I have other reasons I prioritize above that, but it's awesome that it comes along with something that I'm already going to commit to every year with that membership. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have a ton of like suggestions or whatever. I just enjoy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just enjoy the time I'm able to spend.
Yeah.
Checking it out. And
no, me too. Me too. I think it works fine. There it goes again. Hitting the wrong button. How many times has he done that tonight? Man, he's like really off his game tonight. Wow.
One thing I'll say is
sorry.
Besides enjoying it, is that somebody asked.
What up, Marty?
Yeah, somebody asked.
Sorry, Mickey.
Panels. Didn't have a chance to look at panels because yesterday I was too busy going back and forth, looking at art, selling art, and then scanning art to upload for Sunday. And so I didn't have any time for panels. And then today I was just too exhausted. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't.
Me too, Goo. Me too. It's I just I'm just busy doing other things. I was telling Mickey before we went live that today was, even though I only sold like 5 pieces, the thing is that I get emails from those people, those five transactions. It's multiple emails back and forth because they're asking questions, and we got to go back and forth about the shipping and so all day long it felt like I kept getting distracted just handling emails. And I think that's important. I always, since I got online 30 years ago, I've always made it a point. I like to be able to answer people as quickly as humanly possible. And so, yeah, having to deal with emails all the time from potential customers, it just doesn't allow me to just, I'm going to kick back today and watch some panels. You know what I mean? But the nice thing is, Goo, is you don't have to feel like you got to be there watching them, because if there's any panels of interest, you can watch them after the weekend. That's the nice thing. It stays on the website, so you can catch it after the fact. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, let me just quickly say, speaking of panels, that's another thing. Listen, it's not for everybody, but that's another piece of value that if, you're $75 just to have a premium membership on CAF, $75 a year, that's the other thing, you can consider as a benefit. Like, it's not like CAF CON is twice a year. And so it gives you the opportunity to sell for free. But also, if you're into watching panels, interviews, and things like that, they do it all weekend long. So you got stuff, more content to watch. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. It's giving it away. It's free. $75 might as well be free. Like, it's nothing. It's not much to ask. So anyway, whatever. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think personally, guys, that there's anything. If there's anything else, I would say one thing I remember from the past, and I don't know if it still happens. It probably does. I remember something I wasn't happy about is when it officially ended at 10 o'clock on the Sunday, right? I remember thinking late at night after my show, right? I did my live shows, and then I finished the show, and I was like, oh, let me go back and look at the specific galleries for some of my friends, And then I realized, only to find out, oh shit, I can't access them. It's gone. It's all gone. You couldn't access after it's officially closed at on Sunday night. You can't access the convention anymore. You can't see the booths anymore. The art.
It's like Comic Link the next week.
Yeah, exactly. It's gone. It's disappeared into the ether. It's like, what? Yeah. So that I would like. I don't know. I don't know. They obviously have a reason why they do that, but I don't know. Maybe if you could at least leave it live for a few days for the general public, just to see, I don't know, what was there. I don't know. Like, what would be so bad about leaving it at least for a few days? I don't know. So that's one thing also I wouldn't mind.
I think your saved pieces remain, but
I know that. Yeah, I know.
Database.
I know. Yeah, they do that. I give him credit for that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, just full ability to get.
That's why our buddy Fred saves like 397 pieces per day.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I think the sales data price could be lower, and the premium membership could be higher. Well, I don't think you have to hire the premium membership. I mean, if they want to generate more revenue, they should just focus on converting. I've said this for years. Convert, convert, convert. That's what they really need to do. Don't be looking to jack up the $75 price on the people who have supported the site for years already, right? Look to convert. Look to convert the 15 or 13,000 people who are not premium, right? And turn them into premium. That's what you really need. They got to hire somebody, get one of those people who have an official title to work on that. Figure out ways to convert people. That's what they should do. My opinion.
I'm going to jump ahead to Kazer's latest comment. He's saying he's looking forward to seeing the video of you breaking into the Fan Expo Toronto after it closes.
I'm looking forward to the video of Rubén breaking into Fan Expo after. Yeah, but Kazra, on a virtual con, we can't steal art from each other, right? So yeah, I mean, this is the thing, Kazra, is since you're not charging a fee, right? You're not taking a few points off anybody's sales, anyways. I mean, does it really matter, right? If people made a few more transactions, after the fact over the next 48 hours or whatever, doesn't really matter. But anyways, nevertheless, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's fine. Let me see what else is there. Marty Weber says, I just want to say that I had amazing interactions with both buyers and sellers this weekend. That's awesome. It was a great show. Thank you for being such a great community. Oh, for sure. Awesome, Marty. Happy to hear that. It's always great to hear positive things, right? Especially if it's like legitimately honest, not ass kissing. I am wrong. You're right. I agree. Agree to disagree. Okay, you guys are playing games. You may be wrong, but you may be right. Good song. He's always with the music. I love that. That's a good one.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say, Rubén, is that I kind of disagree with leaving it up because as a seller, I don't want to be receiving more emails after the fact.
Sorry, say it again. As a seller,
I think Rubén's saying leave up the listings without the capability to contact for purchase, right? Is kind of what you're saying. Okay, but Mickey's saying even if that's the case, people will still contact him anyway through his CAF gallery or whatever.
Yeah, right.
So
right, but what I would also, what I'd add to that is simply what I was saying to Kazra, which is, because they don't take a portion of the proceeds anyway, it's not like if you leave it for 48 hours, let's say, hypothetically, right? 48 hours extra for us to still see, and maybe people make some extra transactions, right? What does it, like, it doesn't hurt them. They're not taking money anyways. So it doesn't hurt them. That's all I'm saying. And you're just going to make your users a little bit happier if they made a few extra sales for the people who couldn't maybe attend over the weekend, I don't know. It doesn't seem that it would have any negative consequence on the site owners, is what I'm saying. So whatever. By the way, Rich, I just wanted to let you know, I think that page, if I'm not mistaken, I think that my Pollard page, not only was it the first piece I sold, literally the email was sent to me at 11. It was timestamped in my Gmail at 11 o'clock. I was like, doesn't it open at 11 o'clock?
Yeah, but half an hour before, premium members have the ability to look at their want list, their keywords,
right?
And which pieces are in that day. So some people are probably just sitting there, like they know that's waiting in their keywords, and they're like, ooh,
right,
yeah.
And they're gonna go directly. Okay, so that person wanted it, and he went directly to maybe my booth or something, and then.
Well, he may have had a keyword for Pollard. He may have had a keyword.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
And he saw it 30 minutes in that 30-minute period. I'm just speculating, but I'm saying
no, that's what I did. I kept my page open with that piece that I wanted, and as soon as 11 o'clock hit, I hit the piece and sent the request in.
Marcus, you're right. I didn't save pieces. I saved. I thought I would rather save a bunch of booths. I'd rather see everything that somebody has, not just the random pieces here and there. So a bunch of booths is what I did. What else? Why don't you save every piece so you can take your time with the data? I don't know if you're probably
He's just
talking.
saying go to every single all 9,000 pieces and hit save, and
Oh, God.
then you'll have access
yes.
to it later, Rubén.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a simple solution.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we got Carl. Hey, that's true. Most of you didn't even give me your. Those of you who set up a booth didn't give me your stats. So Carl's checking in, says he had. How many pieces did you try selling though, Carl? I saw your gallery. I just don't remember how many pieces it was. But damn, $1,300. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for only 3 pieces. And you didn't have like super expensive type stuff.
He also mentioned that he didn't buy anything, I think, somewhere.
Okay, I'll get to that. So
we sold a little bit and then refrained from buying.
Okay.
There it is. There's the comment. More importantly, I didn't buy anything.
But Stanley agrees. He wants the boots to be left up. Okay. Why are you saying the same thing as Marcus? Save this every piece. Yeah, Carl, that's good show.
He answered you, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so 23 pieces. So we got
for Saturday, then a few in extra on Sunday, but I don't know how many. He didn't specify.
Oh, okay.
So, no idea.
So you got better totals. You're probably somewhere in the 15 to 20% range in sell-through percentage. So that's pretty good. Nothing nothing to be sad about, that's for sure. Scott says, I would like to see a discount on getting premium membership and sales data. Why would you need a discount? I don't know. Talk to Kazra. I mean, it has nothing to do with me. He's the boss, not me. Not enough VPs, but that's all work and money to do that. We should be thankful for what we have. Work and money to do that. Okay. No, non-premium members complaining about $75. Premium members not complaining that premium used to be $50. That's true. I forgot about that. That's true. Premium used to be $50. Yeah. Okay. So Neon also agrees. He also would like to leave it up at least overnight. Although if you're going to leave it open, I figure a couple of days, Yeah. Let me see who else. I am the Eggman, says CJ. You know what, CJ? Out of curiosity, what reference is that? Because for me, that's just a Beastie Boys reference. But I always wondered, because I always figured they were referencing something, and I just don't know. So let me know what you're referencing. Would be funny if the Russo brothers bought CAF. What's up, Carl? What a weird thing.
Beatles,
what a weird comment too, by the way. Rubén, if you were a part of some panels with Bill, you could tell him directly.
It's a Beatles song, Rubén. It's a Beatles reference. It's a Beatles reference. I am the Eggman.
Oh, it's a Beatles reference?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. Let me see. I am back after having dinner. You missed a lot. Okay, what else? Feds will get wise.
Alberto, did you buy that Captain America cover? More important.
Yeah, more importantly, did you buy the cap cover? No, I know it's no. He would have been on here. Hey guys, just to let you know, I bought the cover. That's what he would have been doing. I know it. It's funny. Premium coming early. Dan is right. Okay, let's see. Franklin Boots, Pollard buyer. I had 23, and then on Sat tossed a few in for Sunday. Okay. Yeah, it's okay, man. It's not bad for cheaper stuff. Union labor doesn't allow us to keep the booths up. Nice. Sold 2 pieces and bought 1 and pretty much broke even. Okay. Broke even on the sales, or you mean like the amount you spent versus the amount you sold? Kind of like Nicky. Nicky's way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter bought 2 affordable lots and a mystery sketch. Okay, well, that's separate, so I don't count that. So you bought 2 lots and you reserved a proud commission. Okay. Mostly did panels. Okay.
Pratt commission is OAX though, right? So that's
the OAX thing. Yeah. Alberto says, I don't want to sound elitist, but you're in this hobby. You can afford 75. I mean, listen, Alberto, that's the point I was making. I'm not going to say anything else. That was the point I think I clearly made. I think Scott is flirting with me or fucking with me. It's got to be one or the other.
Well, one leads to the other, doesn't it?
Kavi, nice. I like that.
Touche.
Hopefully not with Scott. No offense. I like you, buddy, but not that way,
Well, his flirting got himself a 20% discount from Kazra on a combined membership rate. So there you go.
Oh, hold on. Yevgeny said, just wanted to tell you, Rubén, that friends of mine and I are doing Sunday streams now, so I will usually be late to watch yours. No worries, man. No worries. You never have to apologize. I appreciate you letting me know, though. I appreciate that. This way, we at least know, hey, Yevgeny hasn't bought. He always comes in late. What's happening? Now we know. I appreciate it. I hope those streams go well for you.
Everybody go watch Yevgeny's streams moving forward. Then come over to Rubén's channel.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Sunday nights.
The amount I spent equal the amount I sold. Yeah, it's like the amount the love you give is equal to the amount you get, right? So that's always good. That's always good. To be honest, I really mean that. I actually hate it when I end up spending like significantly more than I sold. It's on one hand I'm happy to have the shit that I bought, but on the other hand, when I'm looking at the money, I'm like I spent $4,500. I only sold for $1,500. You know what I mean? I hate that. I actually do hate that. You think he means fingering? Jesus. There you go. Is that what PayPal FNF really said? Yeah, it might be. It might be. The love you take is equal to the love you make. There you go. Thank you. Kavi is always funny. He's the perfect balance.
As long as I can stay awake long enough, I try.
Well, Kavi, let him know. You may be able to stay awake longer now that
we'll see. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
I don't want to say anything for you. I don't know how much you've told about your health.
Depends on what I got going on Monday mornings schedule-wise with PT.
Did you pick up where Alberto said he did not buy the CAF cover, but he may or may not have bought a Buffy cover?
A what cover? A Buffy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he's a liar. I'm going to guess he's a liar, but then again, I've told him before, he pretty much single-handedly supports the families of the artists of the next comic crew anyways, so I wouldn't be surprised if he actually bought that piece. I mean, not only for that reason, but because it is a bargain at $500, I think,
Yeah, I thought it was an incredible bargain. I was just surprised it hadn't sold.
Yeah, for sure. Al says, what is my email, Miki Kavi? Well, first of all, I mean, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but why would you need the emails? Because, privacy reasons. I don't know if these guys would want to just shout out their emails. But you can contact them through their CAF galleries. And Kavi is under Kavi H, the letter H, like as in hot dog, because he is a hot dog.
That's what it's for. Yes, that's what
Kavi
it's that's why it's there.
And then Miki, I believe you're under your full Miki Annamanthadoo.
Correct.
So Al, if you can remember, Annamanthadoo, ANNAMANTHADOO.
With an A, you're not going to find another.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look under the A's or you look under the premium membership.
There you go.
Yeah,
and mine is my name, my full name, the channel name, Rubén the Collector, and I use Gmail. So there you go. You account for 1% of the Philippines GDP. I'm sure you do. I would think it's higher than that, to be honest. Yeah, interesting, guys. So Rich says, I had to look away from the Michael Golden Avengers annual page. It's funny. At the last show 6 months ago, the same seller, Stephen Lee, had one. And I remember Marcus and I both were like in a like, super agreement that like that was the deal of the show. I think news of that probably got back to Steven because this page, in my opinion, certainly is not nearly as strong as the last one he sold, and it was the same price. So I guess he figured, yeah, if that last one he sold should have been closer to like 18,000, then this one is 12 and a half. And that's why I'm thinking he put this one at 12 and a half. But as far as I know, it didn't sell, right, Rich? The last I checked, it was still available. So those Ulan pieces supporting the city, but not alone. That's funny. X-Ray Steve was back. Oh, is that Stephen Lee? That's X-Ray Steve? Okay. It's hard to keep up with everybody's fake names. Pratt is my only OAX commission. Yeah, I can't wait to see that one because Pratt did some killer commissions at the last show. So can't wait to see it.
Including Peters.
Was that?
Including Peters that he did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely a worse page. Yeah, for sure. And it was still available. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, I don't know, guys. If there's anything else you want to talk about,
I got to bounce in about 10 minutes, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we could stay at least to close out make it an even 3-hour show. If there's anything you guys want to talk about in the chat, but let's keep it on topic. I want to keep it, related to the, CAF CON. Alberto says, I'm still hopeful that Pratt will agree to draw a cab for me, not in the... Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that he only wants to draw a very small, eclectic group of characters. Yeah, because he's not a superhero guy, right? He hates, superheroes. He's like a John Buscema type, He doesn't care for most superheroes. So it makes sense that he has no desire to have to draw them at a collector's whim. So that's not surprising. The last Avengers annual page was flipped. It was flipped? Really? At NYCC? Interesting. Wow. Yeah, listen, I don't blame the person. They got a great deal. They got a deal. If you can make several $1,000s quickly and the page doesn't mean that much to you in the first place, and that's possibly what happened. It could have been the guy who bought it was just buying it because he knew it was a undervalued price. No, Stanley, no. And just have Pratt draw a female soldier with Rogers on the name tag.
Good one.
I guess Pratt won't draw Gotcha Man for me. No, I'm pretty sure he won't want to draw Gotcha Man. Pretty sure. But I don't know what his list is exactly. I think Peter told us last time, though. Peter, what's the list? Do you know the list? The list of characters that George Pratt's willing to draw? I mean, I know it's Enemy Ace. Pretty sure it's still Wolverine and Havoc, just because he worked on them. But I don't know beyond that, to be honest. I don't even know a single one beyond that.
Yeah, the last time on Bill's show, Bill did say that George expanded his list by a few more characters.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really curious, though, because, yeah, a guy like that, who I've always seen more as a fine artist who, just because he has to feed himself, has from time to time worked in the illustration business, right? Comics in particular, And I'm sure he has some kind of a little bit of a love or a like, if not a love.
I just found the list. It's on the site. Yeah.
Huh?
Kavi,
the list of characters that he'll do is on the site. Yeah.
Okay, and what is it? Solomon Kane, Christopher Lutz. Chris Lutz is saying Solomon Kane, the Shadow are on there now. Good, perfect choices for that type of an artist.
Yes.
Yeah, more pulpy type characters, right? So that makes sense to me. Yeah. So I'd love to see some shadows. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing Solomon Kane, although I don't personally care about that character. I've never really read Solomon Kane material myself. But yeah, good choices. Have him draw a biplane. That's interesting. I wonder if he would draw just a plane for someone, paint a plane, but without like Enemy Ace,
I like Solomon Kane. I like the way he looks as a character. I don't particularly
exactly.
I don't particularly like the stories, but I like the look of the character.
Exactly. it's kind of like I've said that before, Mickey, many times about, you know, all the characters that back in the 80s, because I was more of a Marvel guy, but I was a young guy, you know, only occasionally had money off and on. And so I couldn't collect even all the Marvel titles that I wanted, much less DC, right? So that's why I never got to read almost any Legion. But I always loved their costumes, right? I'd be like, look at all these characters. There's so many of them, and so many of them look really, really cool. I would like to read more of them just because I love their costumes. So Solomon Kane falls into that same kind of category where I always liked what he looked like. You know, I think he's a cool character. But when I say that to people, sometimes they think, oh, you've read Solomon Kane? Yeah. I'm like, oh, no. I've never read a word of Solomon Kane. I just think he looks really cool, you know? So, yeah. So he's one of those guys for me, you know? And his list is a lot larger than last year, Alberto says. Okay. Lots of war stuff. Interesting. Maybe he's opening up to like Sergeant
Maybe
Ross.
he means his list of characters he's willing to do, because
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think.
I shared the link, and Peter has also put in some of the text of the specifics in the chat. So
yeah.
There it is.
Casper says, George loves comics more than most people I know. Well, that may be, but it might be in a different way. Perhaps he loves to read them. You know, I don't know. But Kazra, the bottom line is when an artist really doesn't want to draw a bunch of characters, usually, and you correct me if you know if you know otherwise, correct me, of course. I'm sure a lot of collectors would like to know why George Pratt limits his characters to such small lists, right? Usually that's what it is. Other times it's because they're not very familiar with a lot of characters, not having drawn them, right? So they feel like, I'm going to need to use photo ref, and that's a little bit, you know, that takes more time, whatever. Oftentimes that's what it is, you know? But hey, if he loves comics more than people know, then great. I'm glad to hear that, you know? I would love him to add, see, that's, you know, a Civil War character. That feels like it would be something that George Pratt should add to his list. That feels like it's in keeping with the theme, you know, Solomon Kane, Shadow, Jonah Hex. Yeah, kind of fits, you know. Release the list. Exactly, CJ. Do you think Cal should allow artists and dealers? I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, look,
right?
To sell, you mean? And look, the way I see it, Stanley, most collectors that are active, most, not all, but most, I see them as collector dealers as well. To some degree, most collectors I feel are also dealers in again, to a certain degree, because a lot of collectors that are active, I have found, do sell pieces from time to time. And that's enough for me to say, you know, you're not strictly a collector. You know, sometimes you part with stuff. So that's, you know, again, you may not like the word dealer. And then, you know, people don't think of those kinds of people as dealers in the traditional sense, of course, right? But I think in a way, as long as you sell from time to time, you part with things from you curate your collection and part with things from time to time. I think there's no difference. I don't think I would want to differentiate and say, oh, only real dealers with websites should be allowed to sell, or only collectors should be allowed, you know? I don't know. What did you say, Mickey? Oh, you're leaving? Okay. All right. So that's how I feel about it anyways, you know? He added Hellboy. Interesting. Okay, that'll be interesting. Somebody's bound to pick that. Batman, Enemy Ace, Doc Savage, yeah, all the pulp guys, right? Shadow, Wolverine only from the Natsuka version. Wow. Okay, Sandman, Death, right? Makes sense. Sergeant Rock, right? Samurai Cowboy. Okay, Bluesman, not familiar with Bluesman. Solomon Kane, Hellboy, right? World War I and II, Vietnam, soldiers. Okay, so war stuff. That makes sense. Nazi, zombie. Okay. Female figure. Okay, interesting. Yeah, at least it gives everybody a much wider selection to choose from. I think that's good. Definitely good, you know. A plain. Yes. I think Modoc was at, yeah, right. Jack of Hearts. Oh boy. Stingray was added to the list. Yeah, he's gonna rush in. He probably would get one actually. Rom ain't gonna happen. You might ask for a World War I or World War II planes. Yeah, I mean, I was being serious about it, Peter. I was being serious. Why not, right? They look beautiful when he draws them, when he painted them in the Enemy Ace graphic novel, right? So Solomon Grundy Kane likes Black Kiss. Ultimately, from talking to George last year, he's actually very humble, so humble that he's just afraid to disappoint by doing characters he hasn't done before. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It falls into that thing I said about when you're not used to drawing characters, you've never really drawn them at all. In other words, it's very daunting as an artist to do it for the first time when you're being paid for it by somebody as a job, yeah, as a commission. So I totally get that. Absolutely. So Bluesman, yeah, I said that, but what do you mean by who is that? John Lee Hooker cosplaying as Vigilante would ruin his brand. It might be outside what he does, right? Kazra says George gets intimidated by the idea of drawing many of the characters that he didn't. Right, he didn't do commission 15 plus years, right? Yeah, you're out of practice. Yeah, took a lot to get him to start last year. Yeah, no, for sure. That's how artists are. You haven't drawn in many years. You're rusty, and that's just drawing in general. If you haven't been drawing or painting or what have you, and then even if you have been, but haven't been ever really, he's a painter, right? He's never been a monthly artist doing mainstream superheroes. So most of the characters that exist in our hobby, he hasn't really drawn. So it makes sense that it's daunting, and he would feel intimidated by it for sure. And let me see. Alberto says, yeah, exactly. He's afraid of disappointing and not living up to expectations, not because of a lack of love for comics. Yeah. Modest. You're right. Yes. I'll bet it'll probably be awesome to see a cap from Pratt. I don't think he was on the list, though. Kavi is a time traveler. He phases in and out. Blues musician, okay. When I have never drawn a character before, I usually do study sketches to get used to them. So when I draw the main drawing, it looks good. Yeah, that makes total sense. Total sense. Yeah. But okay, everybody. I think we're good to go. And yeah, teaching a class. Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, we're going to call it. Kavi does need to go and do stuff. I actually also need to have my supper, and it's 11 o'clock at night. I haven't eaten.
Gee, you haven't eaten dinner?
I mentioned earlier that it just busy handling the emails from the people.
Yeah, you had a booth and you were, yeah.
CAF CON and all that, and then I still have to shave and shower, and then it didn't leave any time to eat. So, yeah, but thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all for sticking around. Oh, if you haven't done so yet, please. I always forget
hit the like button.
Hit the like button, the thumbs up right below here. That'd be really nice. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Kazra, for being and hanging out all this time. That's really nice of you. Thanks to the regulars, of course, as always. Really appreciate you guys as always. Miki, of course, thank you for being the one and only guy during last week's episode to step up and tell me that you'd be willing to come on. I appreciate you, man. Thank you as always. Always love having you. So always a good time to have you here. And yeah, guys, don't forget Nicky's on Friday, of course. And again, don't know for sure what I'll be doing next Sunday, but I am thinking of, like I said, talking in the broader sense, having a conversation in the broader sense of where this whole thing about where I see that collectors and buying habits have been going over the last 8 to 10 years, and why I think it's kind of a negative for the hobby. But anyways, yeah, I want to talk about that. So I'm thinking maybe to make that the sort of focus of the show. So yeah, we'll see. Anyways, we'll see what happens, and that's it. But appreciate you guys, and have a great week, everybody. Whatever you do.
From Kazra, thanks for the Cal banner, gents. I genuinely appreciate it. Mostly, thanks for caring.
All right, thanks, Kazra. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And thank you. Yeah, thank
right.
you, Peter. Appreciate you all. Always you guys with
All
your
right.
last second comments saying thank you and goodbye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
I
guys.
thank you, Marcus. Thank you.
And
But
you too, Alberto.
yes, thank you. Thanks to all of you. Thank you, Neon Dragon. You stuck around, so thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. And yes, as I always say, and as Tom always says for me, what is it? What is it? We won yesterday.
Go
Go
Blue.
Blue.